Yep, that's right.
And all the rest are going to be in-conference contests. So you have tonight, McBain is taking on Lake City. Elsewhere, Houghton Lake and Roscommon are going at it. Beale City is playing Everett, and Pine River is playing Manton. So it's going to be different for sure. I think the mandate on the field is they're supposed to be wearing masks. I don't remember if that's because we are a Zone 4 school, technically, because we draw from a Zone 4 county, correct? McBain does, yeah?
It's all where I live, the Highland folks.
It's all your fault? It's all your fault, okay.
So it crosses about 6 miles into Osceola County, and because of that, and we draw from that, that's considered the Grand Rapids region, it makes it really different. It's like NMC, for volleyball. They can practice inside from day one.
Yeah.
The girls volleyball team, they were out on the tennis courts playing on the beach volleyball courts.
Oh, nice.
The whole time. They had 2 practices inside before their first match. So, but everybody's happy to play. Like you throw these things at the kids and kind of handcuffs them a little bit. They're happy to be on the field.
Yeah, they're just thrilled to be able to put on the pads and get out there and do their thing, especially, say, the seniors who probably feared they were going to lose their last year of football, but they're going to get that opportunity. Want to make sure we let you know we're broadcasting live from the Northern Truck Service broadcast booth, and you are listening to the Pluger Mechanical pregame show, licensed and insured for all your new installations, HVAC services, and light plumbing. Call Aaron or his brother Brad at 282-3194. That's 282-3194. Pluger Mechanical. And Lars, I guess we've got a bit of a confession. We don't know a whole lot about these two teams.
Hey, it's week 1. They
probably don't know much about themselves.
Changed their system.
The one thing we do know, and my usual partner up here in the broadcast booth, Lars, filling in tonight for Gary Hawkeye Vanna, who has the evening off. I think he's got family in, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Hawkeye and I were texting a little bit today, and he mentioned that the quarterback for McBain will be Deacon Dottie, who was the starting JV quarterback, I believe, last year. And so you've got some experience, at least, experienced quarterback coming in and taking over at the varsity level. That being said, according to Gary, this Rambler team, similar to last year, they're going to hang their hat on defense. That's where most of their experience lies. They've got 4 new offensive linemen, including a couple of sophomores, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But on the defensive side, that's where all the experience is, and he thinks that's where that's going to be key for them.
Yeah, big time. It takes all 11 to run the offense. So I noticed there Mac Bonico is up to help Brant Bonico there, and we'll see if those 2 Bonicos can help replace the awesome Owen Bonico who graduated last year.
How many Bonicos does it take to replace an Owen? That's a great question.
He was, I believe, one of the defensive players in the conference.
Absolutely.
Gavin Seelan last year was the offensive player in the conference. So really had a lot of talent last year, graduated some really good talent. So it will be interesting to see who steps in and fills those shoes.
Yeah, we're going to be very curious to see what this team looks like. Of course, McBain has long been known for their ground game. They have historically run an offense that we've got a lot of photographs being taken. We're going to be getting a kind of a fun. The national anthem is going to be sung from right next to us, so we'll probably keep it here for that, just to put more pressure on. We won't tell them we're doing that.
Oh.
Should we let them know that we're live when they do it?
No, they're probably nervous enough doing it. But 3 girls from choir. Yeah. And really, choir has been different, too. They can't sing inside unless they're spatially distanced, because singing's the big issue.
Sure, absolutely.
That. So they've been outside with masks, and every now and then, if it's too cold, they'll go in the auditorium and spread out. So it's almost a 500-seat auditorium where you got 30 to 60 kids in there.
Great acoustics, though, at least.
All over the place. Like, they can barely see each other.
Yeah. I lost my train of thought. I was just going to say something about, I read an article that talked about if we were all quieter, if we all talked less, that would help to limit this as well, apparently. So
good point.
It's almost not even about the masks. It's about how loud we are. Well, Lars and I need to be loud. We're glad you're tuned in. We're grateful that you are listening in here on 107.9 CDY. We're also extremely grateful for all of our broadcast partners. They have come out in support of McBain Rambler football here on 107.9 CDY. We're going to make sure that we quickly run them down for you here while we have a moment. They include Eagles General Store, McNally's Party Store, McBain Lake City Family Pharmacy, McBain Auto Service, Wexford Misaki Career Tech Center, SRM Concrete, West Michigan Credit Union, McBain Rural Agricultural Schools, Classic Chevrolet, and the Ina Store. And then you're going to hear a lot of other names as they sponsor pieces of this production for you. We'll have the L&J Meat Market Player of the Game. We'll have the Kelly's Pizza and Grill post-game show. Of course, you're listening to us from the Northern Truck Service broadcast booth. This is the Pluger Mechanical pregame show. We'll have the McBain Hardware halftime show. McLean Transmission is our streaming partner. Should mention that as well. You can head over to 107.9Wcdy.com, click the game logo. You can listen to us live via YouTube streaming if you're outside of our radio broadcast distance. And then also FIAM sponsoring the first down. So every time a first down is reached in this game, that will be brought to you by FIAM. And then Bader & Sons, greentractor.com. You're going to hear from them an awful lot tonight. Coming to you with the scoreboard, the lineman of the game. Lars, make sure that you write that one down. All of our stats, starting lineups, and the halftime interview. We are fortunate enough to have Dr. Steve Preisel, the superintendent of McBain Rambler Schools, coming up and joining us at halftime for an interview. And, of course, the Judy K. Gildy picture-perfect play of the game as we put pressure on Lars in week one to make sure he's paying attention and pick something. I've given him a pen. He's got paper. He has no excuses.
Yeah, your pen didn't work. Thank you very much. But it is a nice one.
Did you find a different one?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry for that.
No, that's all right. It's been a while. It's been 6 months off for some of these pens.
I'll tell you what, it feels like it's been 10 years since we were in a broadcast booth, doesn't it?
It does.
This is insane.
If you remember back, it was basketball week of district for boys, regionals for girls, and everything just got shut down.
Yep. It was just before I went to Arizona. Vanna blamed me for that. Hawkeye said it was my fault. I went to Arizona and everything blew up. Yep. That's right.
So you've been able to play some pickleball, though, right?
I have. That's been a saving grace. Getting outside, play singles. You're socially distanced the whole time. It's great.
Pickleball champion?
Well, I wouldn't call it.
Cup looked like the Stanley Cup. I think it was huge.
It's a medal. What are you talking about? It was a medal. I think we're going to get the national anthem here shortly.
The crowd's going wild with McBain entering the field. Got about 5 seconds of the pregame left.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's varsity football game.
The Hall of Famer Harv Lucas, the longtime public address announcer here in McBain.
Hall of Famer in 2 sports.
Yes.
Will you please stand as for our national anthem tonight?
National anthem? Coming up. Let's listen in.
And McKenna Gilney. Please rise and remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars for the perilous fight, for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the
you'd never guess they knew they were on the radio, Lars. That was really impressive.
Now you can tell them.
I can
right?
tell them now, right?
No, they did a great job. We got a great music program here, great band program at McBain. And it's you know, like I said, handcuffs with different things they can do, but the talent's still here, even though they can't practice much.
Yeah, it has been a very odd 2020.
Yeah.
You look at the far sideline, Lars, at the Lake City, that's not an unusual number of people for a visiting team. It looks almost normal over there, although Lake City would normally be a little more force on a road game, especially here, as they battle for, what's the name of the trophy? It's the Misaki, the Sentinel? Yeah.
Misaki Sentinel
Misaki
trophy.
Sentinel trophy.
And I tell you what, a little story behind there. I heard Pat Maloney on Monday, you know, trying to get the kids focused. And he just says, I am so sick of standing on the sideline watching Lake City lift that trophy.
3 straight years, 5 straight games is the winning streak right now for Lake City. The last time the Ramblers got a victory over the Trojans was 2016 in the regular season. The Trojans have knocked the Ramblers out of 2 of the last 3 postseasons. The Ramblers have made the postseason 3 straight years. Trojans knocked them out the first 2 years last year. Of course, St. Francis knocking them out at the district level. These two teams have met how many times, Lars, since 1971?
Well, that's cute because I was watching 9 and 10 News, and I should have.
Did it come out? Or you didn't pay attention?
I didn't. McBain actually has the lead, but it's only like by 2 games.
That's exactly right. 52 times these two teams have met. 27 to 25. The Ramblers have the lead right now, and that's despite that 5-game winning streak by the Trojans. So tonight, the head coach Pat Maloney in his 6th season at the helm here at his alma mater, hoping to change things and be on the receiving end of that trophy during the post-game show. Right now, the Trojans will be kicking off to start things, and boot to ball, and we are underway. Ball taken just inside the 20, and then brought down at around the 30-yard line.
Brought that kickoff out to the 35-yard line.
Was Caden McGillis.
The Redbirds will have 1st and 10.
Yeah, so Grayson Elmquist was the kicker there, and he's got some blood. His dad was a kick returner at Central Michigan, so he comes from a good bloodline there.
Along on that stop, number 54.
Now, we will be identifying people as this game goes along. Ball, nose of the ball right at the 30-yard line, so the Ramblers going left to right, north to south across your radio dial. Keegan Dottie under center, 3 backs. The handoff is McGillis. McGillis around the left edge, makes a tackler miss. He's got a 1st down and more. Up the left sideline and finally pushed out of bounds in Trojan territory. But that's a Fium 1st down for the Ramblers. And that would be marked, it looks like, right around the 46-yard line of Lake City. Give him a 24, call it a 25-yard line.
1st down for the
A 25-yard pickup. Where are they going to mark this? Yeah, they mark it at the 47. We'll call it a 23-yard pickup.
The name K-U-T-Z. Cuts or Coots?
Sun shining really good. All the players are looking at Coach Maloney, but shielding their eyes from the bright sun.
3-back look again. Dottie will hand it off. This time it is Austin Ealing, and Ealing through the middle of the line, dances, avoids 1 tackler, brought down at around the 40-yard line for a 7-yard gain. Bring up 2nd and 3 for the Ramblers.
Gabriel Vasicek. Gain of 6 yards on the play. Gain of 7. It'll be 2nd down and 3.
Brady Bailey's got to get his shoe back on, so they call the equipment timeout.
I was going to say, if Brady's hurt, nobody's attending to him, but he's sitting right on the 40-yard line, messing with a shoe. Deacon Dottie Jr.? Senior. Do you know? You don't? Lars would know. Lars is in elementary school. He has no idea how old these kids are.
He was,
I'm guessing he's a junior. I'm guessing he was a sophomore on the JV last year, but
no, I think he's
I don't have any grades. You think he's a senior?
I do.
All right. Well, in any case, Dottie under center, full house backfield behind him again. He will hand it off to the middleman.
That's Daniel Rodenbaugh.
Is the one guy I didn't know, hadn't identified yet, Daniel Rodenbaugh. So Rodenbaugh, Austin Ealing, and Caden McGillis are your 3 backs.
At the 40-yard line.
He was piled up at the line of scrimmage. No gain. It'll be 3rd and 3 now. 10:50 remaining here in the opening quarter. Full house backfield again. No receivers for the Ramblers. Dottie will hand it off. McGillis dragged down, but able to spin away and take that ball up to the 35-yard line. Another Fiam first down for the Ramblers.
First down, Ramblers.
Yeah, great effort there. He's kind of holding the ball out there a little bit loose, but he was able to spin.
First thing you'd have told him, sideline?
A little bit.
10.5 minutes, no score here in the opening quarter. Week 1 of the Highland Conference abbreviated football season. Dottie under center, full house backfield behind him. Eerily quiet in this press box right now.
So quiet.
Handoff is to the up man, that's Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh will try the middle. Looks like Rodenbaugh is going to be the battering ram of this three-headed running pack here. As Rodenbaugh picks up a few, we'll give him the 32-yard line. It's going to be second and a long 7 as the Hall of Famer disagrees with me. He's always disagreeing with me. Dottie again under center. The Ramblers quickly to the line. This time the handoff is Ealing. Ealing makes a cutback, cuts back to the left. Ealing with room. Ealing to the 10, 5. Ealing to the pylon. Lost the ball. Did he fumble that out of bounds or did he step out of bounds? They're going to say he stepped out of bounds.
Because here's the thing, if he fumbles that and it goes into the end zone, that can be called a touchback, and it becomes Lake City's ball.
That's absolutely true. You lose control before the goal line and it goes out of bounds through the end zone. That is a touchback. Fortunately, that is not the case here.
Do you remember the Dallas Cowboy lineman in the Super Bowl? Running down, and he gets caught by
the smallest guy on the Bills.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm old enough to remember that stuff.
Is that Leon Letts?
It was Leon Lett. Yeah, it was. It was Leon Lett. Who was the guy that poked it out though from the Bills? It was a receiver. I can't remember who it was. What do we got here? First and goal from the 2. It looks like.
McGillis.
It's going to be McGillis, and McGillis, Ramblers think he's in, and he is. Touchdown, Ramblers. Caden McGillis with the 2-yard touchdown run set up by the 30-yard run by Austin Ealing.
And that was a great cutback by Austin Ealing. Hey, Jay, I want to talk a little bit about, remember years past, Pat came in, he had some athletes, he spread them all out. You're not seeing any spread right now. It's double tight, wishbone type key backfield. It's pounded down your throat right now.
Is that Tristan McElhenney?
Yes, he's been practicing kicking.
And that was beautiful. What a kick. McElhenney puts it through.
So McElhenney's grown up playing soccer. He's played at NMC. He's never played football before, so he's coming out for football during COVID time, and he is just practicing kicking all practice long.
That's fantastic. Well, we'll see. Is he kicking off too, or are we still using the little... Because as everybody that listens to us knows, head coach Pat Maloney is famously terrified of kicking the ball deep. He's been burned twice in opening weeks on kickoff returns for touchdowns, and then he goes back to punching it forward 15 yards with the little chip shot pitching wedge thing.
And usually he'll kick it deep, it'll end up at the 35-40, or he'll pooch kick it, and it'll be the 35-40. So you might as well not give him any lanes.
A check of our Bader & Sons greentractors.com scoreboard, 7-0. Ramblers with the lead. Caden McGillis with the 2-yard touchdown run set up by the 30-yard run from Austin Ealing. Ramblers go from their own 30-yard line all on the ground, not a receiver in sight. I wonder if anybody's even listed as receiver this year.
Wow. Brock Maloney, his son, is really working hard. He's actually dual.
Tight end or receiver?
Tight end.
Okay.
So there can be some tight end dump possibilities. Yeah. You can set that up.
Well, that was circa 2010, 11, 12. Yeah. That's all it was.
Pat coaches football, and all of a sudden football gets canceled. He's had his son running for cross country all summer long in case.
Now all of a sudden he's in great shape for football. That's awesome.
He's doing both.
9.5 minutes remaining here in the opening quarter as McElhenney will kick off. It is a chip shot, though, going to be taken just inside the 30-yard line, and drilled and met is Oakley Barger of the Trojans. Barger will take it back out to... They're going to give him the 34-yard line. And that's where the Trojans will take over.
So I guess I was wrong by a yard. They're at the 34, not the 35, like we predicted. does give it a shorter field. You know, you're used to NFL stuff starting at the 20 or the 25.
Absolutely.
But it's still, you got to go a long way.
Trojans come out in the pistol, something we have seen them use before. Handoff is going to be to the lone running back, and he's got lots of room. Straight through is Travion Jones. And Jones takes it up to the 47-yard line, 48-yard line we'll give him. 47.5. That is directly between the hash marks there.
So Hunter Bisbal is the quarterback for Lake City, like you said, in that pistol formation.
And counter to the way the Ramblers want to do things, Trojans spreading things out. They've got an up back in front of the pistol and the quarterback. And the handoff is again to Jones, and Jones will take it over midfield into Rambler territory, down to the 47-yard line of McBain.
The idea of the spread there is just to spread everybody out and try to find some lanes.
Yeah.
But Lake City's still loaded with athletes. This has been a good rivalry the last 10 years, but not so much fun the last 5 games.
8:48 remaining here in the opening quarter. Ramblers have a 7-0 lead. Trojans with their first possession of the game going right to left across your radio dial. Sun to their back. Bisbal will hand it off. Jones again over the right side of the line. Room to run. He's got a first down. Takes it all the way up to around the 42-yard line. That's a 5-yard gain and a first down for Lake City.
At stop number 34, Daniel Rodenball.
Trojans in their white road jerseys, black pants, red helmets. Bisbal comes up, 2 receivers again, 1 to each side. Same formation they've used this entire possession. Bisball's the lone back. Nope, sorry, this is not Bisbal. This is Braden Becker who takes it forward. We got a flag on the play coming in late. Becker took it up to around the 32, close to a first down. We'll see what the call is on the flag, and it's going to be a hold against the Trojans. This will bring it back. So a 10-yard pickup by Becker is going to be wiped out, and the Trojans will be looking at, I'm going to say around a 1st and 15, 1st and 14 or so, based on where that flag was.
And really, Lake City's looking good on all 3 of their plays, all of them going for good yardage. The only thing stopping them is the flag right now.
Yep, they'll mark it back at the 46-yard line.
24 is a flag back.
The lone back this time is Dane Blair. They send him in motion. Bisbal is going to keep it himself, and he is going to get dragged down. Good penetration from the Ramblers, and tackled in the backfield is Bisbal, brought down by Landon Ealing.
On that stop number 17, Landon Ealing.
I'm always afraid to get that wrong and then have Harv go with my call and be wrong. Loss of a yard on the play. 2nd and about 14.5. Bisbal will hand it off to Jones, and Jones can't get back to the original line of scrimmage. Does get across the 45.
45-yard line of McBain. It's going to be 3rd down and 13.
Call it the, well, they're going to mark it right at the 45. 2-yard pickup. 3rd and about 13 to go. 7:10 and ticking here in the opening quarter. 7-0 McBain. Bisbal again in the pistol. 2 receivers either way. 1 up back to the left. Sends Jones in motion. He'll settle up on the left side of Bisbal. Comes across. Bisbal wants to throw over the middle and too far in front of Elian Schichtel, who was the intended target.
45-yard line, 4th down and 13.
Thought we might see a pass attempt there on 3rd down, Lars. What about you?
Yeah. You know, it is the spread, and that's what you're looking for. He just led him a little too far on that pass. Now here, you're past the 50-yard line. You know, we kick off. You get it at the 35. They might go for it. This is 2-down territory, maybe.
This is the maroon zone, as as Gary and I like to call it. Yep. Back of the ball set on the 45-yard line. It's 4th and 13.
A lot of times, too.
Might also see Bisbal. Yeah, go ahead. You say.
You know, you set up in this. He might just step back and kick it.
Yep.
But
4 receivers, 2 either way. Bisbal is going to throw back, rolling to his right. Looking up the right sideline and just overthrows again. Schichtel was his intended target, and honestly, coming over the top late with help was McGillis. I think if that ball's on the money, that's a catch.
Oh, yeah.
There you make a first down.
Wasn't anybody, he had his man beat up that sideline.
Yeah, just overthrew him, and it was tough, too. The sun playing a factor.
Yeah, he's looking right back into the sun.
The receiver is, and, as a coach, you're probably not always thinking, okay, where's the sun going to be on this pass, but
6:47 remaining here in the opening quarter. McBain will take it over at their own 45-yard line. They come out. Boyce makes it simple to call. Full house backfield. This time it's McGillis. McGillis has to take a little jab step, avoids a tackler. Now he gets the turn up, keeps both hands on that ball, driving his legs forward. He made two-man miss and got himself just shy of the 45 of Lake City, a 9-yard pickup.
With his great cutback there, he basically got slowed down by his own team.
Yeah, it was more green jerseys at his way than white at that point.
Yes.
But he made two-men miss.
Great effort
nice
by
move.
Caden's up here. His little brother, Calvin's up there. He's a sophomore.
Handoff is to Ealing. Ealing around the right edge, and Ealing will just turtle as he was being targeted by Oakley Barger, who was coming up, ready to take his head off. And Ealing said, I'm good.
I haven't heard that term before, but basically it's just climb right back in your shell, huh?
That's exactly it. Listen, there's no judgment on that whatsoever. That was smart.
The thing is, he did try to let up, and as soon as you stop your motion, it's not going to go good.
Handoff is straight up the middle. This is Rodenbaugh. When in doubt and you need a yard, give it to Rodenbaugh up the middle, and Daniel does just that. That's a Fiam first down for the Ramblers. Give him the 42-yard line.
Yeah, he's the workhorse of the team, the fullback, the lead blocker. He'll get a lot of fakes, too, and every now and then they'll give them to him. Shakes his helmet a little bit, kind of get the cobwebs out.
Again, full house backfield. I'll be sure to let you know if that changes, but I wouldn't expect it too often. Dottie under center. Dottie's going to give it to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh kind of shifts. Might have got tripped up and gets brought down. I want to say that Robert Kutz was in on the tackle, at least in the area.
It's pretty good when you can fall forward for 3 yards.
Yeah, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Yeah, we'll give him 3. We'll call that the 39-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd and 7. 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Trojans rush up the middle. McGillis bounces out the left side. And McGillis across the 35 of Lake City, brought down at around the 32. Give him a 7-yard pickup. It's going to be very close to a first down, but they're going to call it 3rd.
I think back to the last game that McGillis played. It was actually in basketball, and it was the district semifinals. It was up at Lake City against Lake City, and he had a nice dunk there, and he sure let everybody know about it. So I'm sure Lake City's happy to do what they can against him, and I'm sure he wants to have a good game.
McGillis with the handoff. McGillis the lead block on that one. Rodenbaugh with the carry. Rodenbaugh takes it just over the 30. He's got a Fiam first down for McBain.
On the stop for Lake City, number 16.
With 4:28 to go, as the Ramblers doing exactly what you'd hope this offense would. Chew up the yards, chew up the clock, put points on the board. Dottie under center. This time it's Ealing, and Ealing hit immediately. Nice tackle there by Travion Jones, showing that he can do it on both sides of the ball. Jones might have got a yard. We'll call it 2nd and 9. I love it when I agree with the Hall of Famer.
Yes.
Full house again behind Dottie. Not a lot of breaks in the action here. Ealing stumbling, keeps his feet. We got a late flag coming out from the ref. That's not usually good for the offense. Brought down about the 25-yard line, but this may be coming back, and it is.
Flag on the field.
White hat threw it. Didn't even have to ask anybody.
Signal from the officials, holding against McBain.
And based on where that flag is,
the tight end blocking down, guy cut in front of his path.
I do enjoy the way that an official will throw the flag from about 15 yards away and it lands, and then they don't even adjust it. Like, that's exactly where that held was. I don't know how they do it.
The whole spot.
It's such an inexact, such an inexact science. All due respect to all these fine gentlemen and ladies that are giving of their time and energies to officiate these games. We're very grateful for them.
You get to call a new formation.
What? What is this? What is going on? The Ramblers come out 4 wide, 2 either side. Dottie in the shotgun. Rodenbaugh in motion. Dottie wants to throw underneath and slap down right into Brody Gothard. Brody Gothard, if he was the intended receiver, had the best chance at that. Trying to get McGillis on a little slant pattern, but Gothard knocked it down.
22 was the intended receiver.
He was, just
that's
the wrong jersey.
Because exactly. Gothard's 22 also.
Yeah,
so.
That's a fair point.
Second down and 19 for McBain.
30, let's see, they're at the 39-yard line.
Illegal shift.
We have an illegal shift on the Ramblers, but I'm guessing they're going to...
They should decline it.
Take the down. Illegal shift on the Ramblers. And they will decline it, so it will bring up 3rd down and 19.
Part of me thinks, how baseball, they want to get quicker and all that. You had the result of the play. You know what the coach is going to call. Just pick up the flag.
Yeah, I mean, if he argues with you, then fine. If he yells to you, right? 3.5 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. 7-0 McBain here in the opening week and the opening quarter. Again, spread look for the Ramblers. Rodenbaugh in motion, Dottie rolling left, throwing underneath, has Ealing wide open. Ealing at the 25, trying to cut up field, and he's brought down shy of the first down, right around the 22, 23-yard line. It is a 17-yard pickup on the pass connection, and it's just short. It's going to bring up 4th and a long 2 now for
this
McBain.
Is still the maroon zone?
Because we're outside the 20.
Yeah.
Yep. We're outside the 20. This is the deep maroon zone.
Oh, there you go.
Bright maroon? Because it's almost red? Bright maroon?
Or fuchsia.
I don't know. I don't have colors to... It should be like a faded maroon out at the 45, and then it gets brighter, heads toward red as it gets to the 20.
We just know we're getting too close to the end zone. Of course, you're going for it on 4th down.
Yes, of course they are. And this time, they'll come back into the full house backfield. My money is on Rodenbaugh. We'll see what happens. Dottie hands it off. Nope, it's Ealing. Ealing puts his head down, and Ealing's got the first down, churning those legs across the 20-yard line to the 19. And the Ramblers, after a long holding penalty, sent them back 10 yards. Convert a 3rd and 19 situation on 2 plays. It's another Fium first down for McBain with 2:23 to go. First down at the 19.
Great lead blocking by Caden McGillis, Daniel Rodenbaugh on that.
Well, that's actually kind of smart. Let the little guy carry it. Yeah. Let the 2 big guys lead the way. Dottie will give it to Rodenbaugh, and Rodenbaugh is stacked up. Why, the Trojans, I don't know if the Trojans just fear Rodenbaugh more than the other 2 ball carriers, but they have been stacking the middle to my eye.
Yes.
There have been way more white jerseys in that middle to make sure Rodenbaugh doesn't bust through, and they've been giving up yards around the edge.
I don't want to pick on our linemen. Our linemen are big, but did that almost look like a screen for how quick the white jerseys got in the backfield?
They did get there awfully quick. Loss of a yard on the play. It'll bring up 2nd and 11. For McBain. Ramblers in no hurry to get to the line. Now we're going to see this spread again. So 4 receivers, 2 either way. Ealing is in the slot on the far side. Rodenbaugh in the slot on the near side. McGillis is the receiver to this sideline. They're going to hand it off to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh cuts straight up the middle with room to run. Rodenbaugh over the 10 and brought down inside the 10-yard line. Right around the 7, call it the 8-yard line. And that's going to be another Fium first down for McBain. 1st and goal from the 8.
You know what was interesting about that run is Daniel didn't try to miss anybody. He just ran right at the Lake City tacklers.
Well, what was interesting, because he was in motion from the slot, and he was straight over, took the handoff, and immediately planted that left foot, took off upfield. Huge hole. So with 1:05, Ramblers with 1st and goal at the 8-yard line of the Trojans. Snap is fumbled, and Dottie picks it up, brought down as he tried to turn the corner. I think he actually, well, there's a flag on the far sideline. Tackle was made by Elian Schichtel as well as Brighton Pfeiffer. See what the call is.
It's a shift again. What happened?
Shift? This is where Hawkeye tells me what happened.
Yeah, Daniel Rodenbaugh is going in motion as the line is setting their feet. So he's got to wait a second before he takes off.
So the line is on their knees, and then they go down into the 3-point, and he's shifting as they do that.
There's some feet still moving.
Gotcha.
So there's got to be a second pause before a motion can happen.
So that will push them back to about the 14.
From the 14.
15th play of this drive.
It reminds me of Beale City, though. You know how Beale slaps their knee pads and they go down?
Yep.
You can't tell me there's a second of stillness before they take off.
Again, I find football to be all sports are an inexact science. Foul calls in basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all so difficult to really know what is and isn't. And it's a tough job. As I say all the time, two most difficult jobs in the universe, refereeing, officiating, and mothering. And I want nothing to do with either one. Dottie looking to throw and through the hands of Bradley Seeger Jr. Almost had an interception in the end zone. McGillis was the intended receiver. And Dottie, focusing on the 22, did not see the bright white number 1 coming across, and lucky that Seeger dropped that ball.
Yeah, Caden McGillis became a defender on that one, hit him as the ball came in.
Yes. McGillis did a nice job, as he does, playing in the defensive backfield for the Ramblers. Had to switch roles.
Let's go back to the tee, huh?
And we do. Full house backfield again for McBain. Dottie under center. We'll give it to McGillis. McGillis bounces away from one defender and then dragged down by the second. That was Schichtel with the initial hit. Did a nice job of slowing him down to allow his friends to pull him down. Evidently, there is a flag on the field, though. This is going to be a hold on McBain, and I would think this will be refused because it would bring up 4th down.
I mean,
can you refuse a hold? You can, right?
Yeah. We're in the middle of September. All these first game penalties shouldn't be here. Oh, it is the first game.
Oh, wait, it is the first game.
So basically, yeah, the whole season they lost out on 3 games. And they're like, we'll start at the week 4 schedule. So I'm looking at the schedule. It looks like McBain's not going to play Houghton Lake or Roscommon in the conference.
Holding against McBain, decline.
So it's a decline penalty, so it'll keep it at the 14-yard line. And it looks like the Ramblers are going to let McElhinney try a field goal attempt. Ball will be right around the 20 when he puts boot to ball. This is a 30-yard field goal attempt for Tristan McElhinney. Good snap, good hold, good kick, and it's good all the way to the track. That was a thing of beauty. Are we watching McBain Rambler football?
And he's not an exchange student.
I can pronounce his name. My goodness gracious. 28 seconds remaining, and the Bader & Sons GreenTractor.com scoreboard tells us the Ramblers have a 10-0 lead over the Trojans. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back in 30 right after this.
FIAM is family, and like football, FIAM is also teamwork. The FIAM team has been a stable Cadillac area employer for over 40 years. FIAM is proud to support this McBain Ramblers broadcast. FIAM is currently hiring for full-time positions on all 3 shifts, so if you would like to join the FIAM family, now may just be the time. Please visit FIAM at 1550 Leeson Avenue and apply to join the FIAM team. Go Ramblers from FIAM Technologies in Cadillac.
Number 5, Tristan McElhinney.
And welcome back to McBain High School. Jay Simon alongside Lars Fredin. Matt Jackson turning the dials for us back in the studio. I believe that's right. It is. Didn't want to get that wrong.
You get his name wrong all of a sudden. Hey, where did Jay go?
I feel terrible. Matt doing a fine job back there under the watchful eye of Rich Spicer. Kickoff by the Ramblers is a chip shot. Oh, and this is going to be scooped up. The Trojans will collect it. I think the Ramblers might have touched that. No, actually, it was kicked from the 40, so it should be fine. But Trojans are able to collect it. I think that was David Hogan who managed to corral the chip shot. So even with McElhinney, who just proved he can kick it at least 35, 40 yards, they're still chip shotting because Pat Maloney is terrified of a return kickoff.
And the idea, you put your best athletes in the back. So now you got blockers, some linemen up, maybe some tight ends, running backs, fullbacks, maybe not known for their hands. Let them try to get it, but also find the hole. So now it's a race to who can get it there first.
Trojans, low snap picked up, fortunately, and then run out of bounds just inside the 45. A nice job there by Hunter Bisbal, as the low snap forced him to improvise, starting at their own 40-yard line. We'll give him the 46, so a 6-yard gain. 2nd and 4 now for the Trojans. 19 seconds remaining here in the opening quarter. 10-0. McBain with the lead. Yes, I said 10. That was a field goal from Tristan McElhinney on the last possession. Bisbal will hand it off to Jones. Jones straight up the middle, and a nice job.
Or someone's got the ball, though.
No, they're going to say it was down. The near referee pointing to the ground said it was down. I was going to give Landon Ealing credit for that because I think it was Ealing's shoulder that might have jarred it loose on the initial hit.
Ref standing right there, though. So.
Yep, good call. Slight yard gain. We'll give him the 46.5-yard line. And that is going to bring us to zeros on the Bader & Sons GreenTractors.com scoreboard. 10-0. The Ramblers with the lead after one quarter of play. Opening week of Highland Conference football action here on 107.9 CDY. We'll take a break, and we'll be back right after this.
Cover more ground and get more savings on the fast, durable Kubota Sidekick. Gas-powered with a top speed of 40 miles per hour and best-in-class acceleration and handling with cargo, all backed by a 2-year, 1,000-hour warranty. Get the Sidekick now for 0 down, 0% APR for 60 months or save $2,700 now through October 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
See the Ina store, your Cadillac area Kubota dealer in beautiful downtown Ina.
McBain Rural Agricultural Schools is looking for the next generation of Ramblers. Rural Agricultural Schools, your school of choice. Every McBain Rambler gets a MacBook or iPad, a strong curriculum, including a variety of vocational programs, great athletics, and access to a brand new state-of-the-art performing arts center. If you want a school that will challenge your child, support your child, and celebrate your child's individuality, visit McBain.org or call 231-825-2165.
And welcome back to McBain High School. Jay Simon alongside Lars Ferdine. Matt Jackson turning the dials for us back in the studio under the supervisory eye of Rich Spicer, your favorite morning show host and mine.
Does that mean he's got his feet kicked up in the lounge?
That's exactly what it means, yes. Trojans with the ball to start the second quarter. High snap for Hunter Bisbal. Hands it off to Braden Becker, and Becker runs into a host of Ramblers in the middle. Might have got out to the actual 47-yard line.
Fourth down for
and it's going to be fourth down and about 3.
A lot of subs coming in, so it looks like they might try to punt this one away. But weirder things have happened.
They're really only like 8 yards from the maroon zone.
Yeah.
But they're not in the maroon zone. Something psychological about that midfield line. No question. Just underway here in the second quarter. Coming to you live from the Northern Truck Service broadcast booth. As the Trojans, at least in position to punt, we got a flag from the head linesman.
Uh-oh. If this goes against McBain, that could be a first.
It would be, because any penalty is going to be at least 5, I assume, right?
It doesn't look like it's against McBain.
He kind of wandered toward the Lake City side of the ball. That would kind of imply, I don't know what he's pointing at. Now he's pointing over at the
counting again,
Rambler sideline. I don't know. Where's the white hat? There he is.
What's up?
Illegal participation.
He's got his hand over his heart like the national anthem.
Huh. Is that too many?
I think he had 12 because 52 just went off the field.
52 ran off and nobody ran on, so yep. So we'll put it 5 yards back and clean punt. Gorgeous punt. It's going to be taken by McGillis. He muffs it on the turf, and fortunately, I think he got it back. Wow. Elian Schichtel was right there, and McGillis glancing down, Lars, did you see him look to see where the Trojans were? And didn't find it again when he went back
almost
up
a Hawkeye sight thing, right? There without,
oh, my.
Well,
I'm always watching the ball.
On those glasses?
I'm always watching the ball, so that's the only things I do see because I'm watching the ball. Because I was looking to see if he was going to call for a fair catch, and really, he definitely glanced away.
He tried to catch it sideways. Like in softball, you always got to get your body between the ball.
Got to square up with it. Maybe I heard Harv say it. I didn't actually see. No, I did see it. I did see it. So the Ramblers will take over. 10:57 to go here in the first half. First down at their own 17-yard line. Handoff, I think, is to Ealing. It looks like the smallest of the 3 backs. And Ealing taking it around the right side, up over the 20-yard line. We'll give him the 21.
Second down and 6.
And it'll be
On stop number 22, Brody Gothard.
2nd and 7 by my count. Hall of Famer says 6. We'll go with him. Handoff this time is McGillis. McGillis gets a block, gets the edge. McGillis trying to turn it up, does stay in bounds. The official right on top of it said he stayed in bounds. He gets across the 30-yard line, and that is a Fiam first down for the Ramblers. McGillis did a nice job there, Lars, of tiptoeing up the sideline and staying in bounds long enough to pick up that first.
Yeah, he gained another yard or two after. It looked like he could have been close to stepping out and came back in. Nice first down pickup. Good block by Daniel. He didn't totally commit to the block. He just got in the way and was able to keep going downfield.
Ramblers going right to left here in the second quarter. Dottie will hand it off. This is Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh bouncing off several white jerseys and powers his way across the 35 up to about the 38-yard line based on the head linesman, who I will trust over the other linesmen.
You know, as a fullback, Daniel's going through and he's got his head down ready to hit contact. So you're not looking for the cuts. So he's just plowing over people.
Well, it's his raison d'etre. How do you say that? You know, that's what he does. If he finds that he hasn't touched anybody by the time he gets to the second level, then he'll glance up and he'll turn on the jets. Yeah, exactly. He's got a little in reserve. Same three in the backfield, Ealing, Rodenbaugh, and McGillis. Handoff is to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh up the middle, sheds a tackler, and then tripped up as he got over the 45. Bradley Seeger Jr. got a hold of a shoestring and brings Rodenbaugh down, but not before Daniel picks up another Fiam first down, this time at the 47-yard line of McBain.
And if he doesn't get that tackle, Daniel could have been gone.
Indeed. We're going to get a timeout on the field as the Trojans want to talk things over. We'll take a break. 10-0. The Ramblers with the lead. 9:32 to go here in the first half. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout.
Dawn Fresh Catering is committed to serving fresh, homemade foods with an emphasis on using the great Abel's meats our customers love. Let Dawn Fresh Catering provide the food for your party or event. At Abel's General Store, you'll find a wide variety of grocery products, clothing, gifts, and of course, our signature meats. Family owned and operated since 1920, hometown service is our specialty. Dawn Fresh Catering in Abel's General Store in beautiful downtown Falmouth.
Broadcasting from the U.S. Army Studios, this is 107.9 CDY. See GoArmy.com.
Nothing. Ramblers with the lead over the Lake City Trojans here at McBain High School. 9:32 to go in the first half. This is the opening week of Highland Conference football action here on 107.9 CDY. Would have been week 4 of the normal season, but nothing about 2020 is normal. Young men out there wearing masks, but they are playing football, and you can bet they are thrilled to do that. Jay Simon alongside Lars Fredin, Gary Hawkeye Vanna with the night off, Matt Jackson turning the dials for us back in the studio. McBain with the ball going right to left as Dottie hands it off to McGillis, and that McGillis needs to just hang out of that ball. McGillis being spun around. Hunter Bisball spun him about 6 times.
He really had given up. He's probably like, ref, blow the whistle.
Yeah,
blow the whistle.
Yeah, that's kind of, normally they blow the whistle a little too early oftentimes for player safety, but I don't know if it's because the ball came out for a moment that they were, I thought he was going to try to hand it off to Dottie, which would have been a terrible mistake, but he does hang on to it. And they, to their officials' credit, they give him the ball up at the 47. It's basically no loss on the play, even though he got spun back inside the 40-yard line.
Forward motion, huh?
Yeah, Bisball did pop it out. McGillis then recovered as Bisball had him around the waist. Dottie under center, hands it off to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh straight up the middle. Rodenbaugh through the second level. Rodenbaugh at the 30, 20, 10. Goodbye. Daniel Rodenbaugh with a burst up the middle. Great hole by the offensive line of the Ramblers. And the Ramblers take a 16-0 lead.
You notice about the 1-yard line, he looked up.
He did. He
still running hard the whole time.
He finally did, yes. What a hole by that young and still learning offensive line, as they created a lot of space for Daniel Rodenball, and that's all he needed. Once he didn't feel contact at the second level, he looked up, turned on the jets, and into the end zone. So Tristan McElhinney will try to add the extra point. McGillis is the holder, and the kick gets through.
A little bit lower than the first one.
A little low, yeah.
It's a nice weapon to have, though.
It sure is. 53 yards to the house by Daniel Rodenball, and with 8:32 to go in the second quarter, McBain has a 17-0 lead.
Yeah. Get a little low for the line. There. Well, that last play, they both got 4 yards to the back.
As I mentioned, 17-0 here in McBain. Ramblers with the lead over the Lake City Trojans, week 1 of the 2020 abbreviated football season over on our sister station, 107.9 The Drive. You can listen to Billy B, Bill Barnett, with the call as the Cadillac Vikings in action tonight. Guilty of not knowing who they're playing, where they're at. Just
happy to be playing, all right.
Yes, I'm sure they are. I'm 100% sure they are. One of those things I got to make sure I write down. Listen, I'm in week 1 mode as well.
You are doing great.
I'm actually like less than week 1
first down. Look at you, got the sponsors in and everything.
Well, the thing about that's the first time we've had a sponsor for first times, which is a great thing, right? You get your name mentioned all the time. Thank goodness it starts with an F.
Yeah.
it just works, right? It just works.
Brett Neverth here
makes
going,
me think
you're
of it.
welcome.
I don't forget it. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll take the one that starts with an F. That's awesome. 8:32 remaining here in the first half.
Is Jen still the?
Yeah. She's been doing some of the selling along with Gary. Hawkeye and Jen Theodore, your best friend Jen, responsible for working with all of our fine broadcast partners and getting them involved. And Brett here is with FIAM and mentioned that that's why he picked that one. So
and I got to give her and Gary.
He perks up every time the Ramblers get a first down. Kickoff is to the left sideline, and that's going to go out of bounds.
So they'll take it at the 35. Oh, what's new?
Is it the 35 or 40? I think it's 30. I think you're right. You're probably right. So this was actually,
but no, really,
the second half.
Got to give credit to Jen and Gary. They come up with some creative things, halftime show, pregame shows, the first down thing. I'm like, just another thing.
Listen, come up with. It's creative, but it's just another thing for me to remember. No, I am so appreciative of our broadcast partners. It's what allows us to do this. It's what lets us keep the lights on and bring you this. And this year, it's even more important, right?
Yeah.
Because with less people allowed to attend the games, we know.
Have you seen outside
that you're
the fence?
Listening to us.
Okay, so there's a hill outside the fence, and there's camp chairs outside the fence, so they never even have to come in for a ticket or anything.
16.
This ball will hand it off, and Jones, they tried to get Jones in motion, and Travion Jones could not turn it upfield, dropped.
Now, Brant Bonico's down there.
32.
He's not celebrating, so you're not sure if he made the tackle or not, but I think he's just an all-business player.
He's probably just trying to breathe through that mask. I had to guess.
We're thinking 74, Brant Bonico.
8:05 remaining. This feels like a three-man booth with the Hall of Famer next to us, doesn't it? He sounds as loud as we do, I'm sure.
You're right, though. It is quiet up here.
The
band's not playing.
So quiet. Sounds like two guys in a blank hall. Handoff is to Braden Becker. Becker got grabbed by the ankle, managed to shed his tackler and turn around and get back upfield. Might have picked up a yard, but he is still not back to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up 3rd and 12 now for the Trojans. 7.5 remaining.
You know, you look at
in the first.
You look at Lake City running, and he's hitting that hole so hard, but they're not getting anywhere. Jesse Sycamore in on that tackle, and
well, you looked at the first possession, and they were chewing up yards all over the place, and the Ramblers have really done something right to adjust to this. Spread formation again. Bisball in the shotgun, wants to throw, rolling to his left. Under pressure, cutting back, and he is going to get buried back inside the 30-yard line. Nowhere to go. That was Dwayne Pitt who cut him off initially.
29-yard line.
A lot of
And they got
Ramblers
some
back
friends,
there.
yeah, a lot of green jerseys.
And that's where Lake City, you know, is a broken play. Quarterback's rolling out, and a lot of linemen are going to go with that old lookout block, you know. Look out. Here they come.
It's going to bring up 4th down and 16 now for the Trojans with 6:35 to go here in the first half. 17-0, Ramblers with the lead. And the Trojans will be punting from right around their own 20-yard line. Another gorgeous punt. This time McGillis will run up, catches it in the breadbasket. Nice little spin move, avoids a man, and he's brought down right at midfield. So the Ramblers will take over. 6:18 to go here in the first half. And Lars Hawkeye said that the defense was going to be the bread and butter for the Ramblers this year, but boy, the offense has looked pretty solid.
You know, the thing about the offense is all the people in the backfield are seniors, so that shows some leadership back there. They're fast, they're strong, they're big. You know, any of those guys could be linemen back there, except the linemen are bigger than them.
Yep. Full house backfield for the Ramblers. Deacon Dottie is your quarterback. Dottie's going to keep this himself, rolling out. I think this is a busted play. I'm not sure there's too many quarterback keeps in the Rambler playbook. Dottie was looking like he wanted to hand that off to somebody, and none of his backs wanted to take it from him. He circled around, managed to get back to his own 49, but it's going to be a loss of a yard for McBain. I could be wrong. Could have been a design play, but he definitely looked like he was trying to hand that off.
Didn't look too smooth, but good job trying to run upfield.
Absolutely. Ramblers going right to left. Dottie will hand it off. This time he has got it to, is that Ealing? I see Rodenbaugh. Could be McGillis.
It's McGillis.
It's McGillis. McGillis gets back to the line of scrimmage.
And I think at least 10 Trojans on that tackle.
I'm not sure I've ever seen 11. That's the most I've ever seen in on one tackle.
Someone's got to stay back in case he pops it.
Yeah, exactly. Can't give anybody credit for that one, unfortunately. That was the definition of a team tackle. 5:15 remaining here in the first half. Actually, they're going to give him the 49-yard line of Lake City, so it was a couple-yard pickup. Spread formation now for the Ramblers. 2 receivers split either way. Dottie firing to the right sideline through the hands, too hot and high for McGillis, who can't bring it in, and it's going to be 4th down now and 9 for McBain. They are on the edge of the maroon zone. It's like a pale blush color, I would say, but
I think we're going for it.
Well, the way they've played defense to this point, since the first few plays of the game, it would make you think about it. I don't know who the punter is. I'm assuming is it Rodenbaugh? Was Rodenbaugh the punter last year? I can't remember, to be honest.
Did Owen do it, or Owen Monaco?
Well, and they've got Rodenbaugh lined up. Now he's going to back up, and he will pooch punt this. Manages to get it off. It's going to land at the 30 and take a great Rambler bounce, and they will down it at the 24-yard line of Lake City. So Rodenbaugh is the punter.
10 on their own 24.
And he lines up. The nice thing about that, and I think Daniel will normally do the little rollout rugby style.
Yeah,
I think I remember him doing that last year. So if he's capable of that, it allows you to put a dangerous runner
gives you that
in a direct
option.
snap.
Yep.
And if he thinks he sees an opening, you let him go if it's short. Just nice to put that on tape and let other schools see that as a possibility.
Yeah, at first with McBain running the T every play, I'm like, boy, that's going to be easy to practice against next week. Throwing in the spread just to give someone something to practice against.
First possession that the Ramblers did not score on. Trojans take over. This is Jones. Jones hit at the line of scrimmage, sheds that tackler, and then drives forward. Manages to get across the 25-yard line. Give him the 26. It'll be a couple-yard pickup, 2nd and 8. Coming up for the Trojans with 4:35 to go here in the first half.
Good initial contact by Brant Bonico on that, but he forgot to bring his arms to wrap him up. He did hit him hard, but you got to bring your arms to bring him down.
2nd and 8 for the Trojans, going left to right. Bisball will hand it off, and taking the handoff is Dane Blair.
Blair, the ball carrier, to the 32-yard line.
Blair will take it up over the 30, give him the, we'll call it the 2. I'm not going to argue with the Hall of Famer, and it's going to bring up 3rd and a long 2.5. Call it 3. That's the 31-yard line.
34, Daniel Rodenbaugh.
Don't forget, coming up, the McBain Hardware halftime show. As we got an official timeout because we've got a slightly injured player who is hobbling his way to the far sideline for Lake City. Able to come off under his own power, which is always good to see, but hate to see a kid hobbled in any way, shape, or form. 3:40 to go here in the first half. Trojans come out with 2 receivers split to the near side. I formation, and Bisbal will be under center. Bisbal will hand it off, bouncing off the back of his fullback is Dane Blair, and Blair with nowhere to go is stopped back at the 30-yard line. It's going to be a loss of a yard plus, and it'll be 4th down and about 4 now for the Trojans, and this is a tough decision. 3:08 to go in the first half. You don't want to really give the Ramblers the ball with really good field position. I think you got to punt, and it looks like they will.
Yeah. So really, your best defense is their offensive line, huh?
At least on that play.
And a lot of first game mistakes. People figuring things out.
Yeah, other than the illegal shift penalties, the Ramblers have been pretty clean in this one, knock on wood. Good snap, another great punt. I got to give that kid credit. What number is he? McGillis with the catch inside his own 35. McGillis with rooms, got some blocking, shifts upfield, sheds a tackler, dragging another white jersey across midfield. And McGillis, with 2:28 to go here in the first half, takes it all the way to the Lake City 45-yard line. Great field position for the Ramblers with 2:28 to go.
Well, McGillis has good bloodline there. I got to play football with his dad at Saginaw Valley. We were both tight ends on offense, and Bobby got to start in front of me. He was a senior when I was a redshirted freshman. He got injured for a couple games, so I got to start for him. Caught a touchdown pass. He's probably thinking it should have been his.
Dottie will hand it off to Rodenbaugh in motion. Rodenbaugh trying to hang on to that ball with 2 hands, gets spun around, does a nice job of hanging on. And he will take it over the 30-yard line down to about 29. And the Ramblers have another first down. I should look at Brett and make sure I'm pronouncing that correctly. There's not like a film or anything like that. Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Now it looks like Lake City's trying to, strip the ball, reach for the ball.
Yeah.
And Daniel picked up 5 more yards as they're doing that.
Yep. Ramblers again with that 4-receiver look. Rodenbaugh in the backfield with Dottie. Deacon Dottie, Ealing in motion, fakes it to Ealing, gives it to Rodenbaugh on the counter. Rodenbaugh stacked up. Trojans read that beautifully. Almost said Hawkeye. Lars, Andrew Vandertug, and Robert Kutz in on the tackle.
That's a tough one because visually you're bringing everybody toward the way that you're trying to do that counter too, and they just
You're going to fake the handoff that way.
Yeah.
You got to hope they overcommit. They're a little slower. Didn't quite work the way they were hoping, I'm guessing.
Minute 34 to go. Pat Maloney calls a timeout.
Timeout Ramblers. They've got a 17-0 lead with a minute 34 to go here in the first half. We'll take a 60-second break, and we'll be back right after this.
Parents, if your students want to be college or career ready by the end of high school, CTC is the place to be. I'm Troy from the McBain High School, and the Wexford-Mazaki Career Tech Center is preparing me for the jobs of the future. Students from all over the region can choose up to 14 different career-driven programs, with a free associate's degree available in some programs through the 13th year training. Find out more at WMISD.org at the Career Technical Education Link and see why CTC is the place to be.
With an exceptional service team and undeniably great prices, the team at Classic Chevy are ready to serve you. See the difference at Lake City's locally owned and operated Classic Chevy. Shop online, then stop in for a test drive. The corner of M55 and M66. Classic Chevy is a proud supporter of our local high school football teams. Classic Chevrolet. Prices you'll love. People you can trust.
17-0 McBain with the lead over Lake City with a minute and a half remaining here in the first half. Ramblers threatening. They've got a 2nd and 11 at the Trojan 31-yard line. 3 receivers to the right. Dottie is going to throw to his left. He's got 1 man, and that is batted down It looked like he got tripped
Incomplete pass.
as they got tangled up. Hunter Bisbal defending against Karsten Huttinga, and it looked like Karsten and Hunter got their feet tangled up a little bit. That's a good no call. That's not both looking back at the ball, looking to go for it. That's a good no call.
And
Hunter knocked it away at the last moment.
In football, you never want to let the refs decide the game for you. So you got to fight through that contact. You got to go for it. You can't flop. And I'm not saying he did flop, but they're not going to call anything.
Oh, he was genuinely tripped.
Yeah.
But I think with both players looking back at the ball, you're not going to make that call. Bisbal again to throw under pressure, trying to step up, lost the handle, and then recovered by Brant Bonico, jumped on top of it. So the Ramblers will get one more shot at least, and I would assume this would be a shot to the end zone, not a Tristan McElhenney 52-yard field goal.
Let's see what he got.
How much leg you got, Tristan? What are you capable of?
You know, it's only going to get colder in the...
Yeah, that's right. Back to the 37.
No, good pressure by Lake City. 4 white jerseys in the backfield right away. McBain lucky to get that one back.
Absolutely. Well, let's see if Maloney, well, why not go back to Karsten? Bisball's probably one of their better defenders out here, though. Same formation they had 2 plays ago. Trips to the right, and now we're going to get a Rambler timeout as Maloney.
You can scan the defense to see where the weakness is. That's what that
is this like basketball where you're looking to see what they're doing?
Yeah.
35.5 seconds remaining in the first half. We'll keep it right here. It's a 4th and 17 for McBain from the Trojan 37-yard line. 17-0. Ramblers with the lead. Don't forget, stick around. The McBain Hardware halftime show is coming up. Stop by, see Ron or Tyler for all your hardware needs. As Gary's brother-in-law will tell you, if McBain Hardware doesn't have it, you probably don't need it. Our sincere thanks to all our broadcast partners. And I'm not just saying that because Brett's in the press box. Couldn't do this without him. If you get a chance to stop into any of these businesses or talk to any of the owners and folks that work there, let them know you appreciate the fact that they are helping us bring this game to you. Brett, I appreciate that you're helping us bring this game to you.
He's standing right next to us. He's got the same view.
That's true. Sorry. He's listening to us, though. Come on. He can't help himself. He's trying to see every time we say Fiam first down. That's what it is. So we'll see what Maloney drew up here. Well, he shifted everything. He's got trips to the left, and he's got McGillis isolated on the far side. Bisbal stays on the near side. Dottie looking for McGillis, launching it toward the end zone. McGillis cannot come up with it. Good defense there by Gabriel Artis defending on the far side.
Really a great call, because if it gets intercepted, that's even better than a punt.
Right.
First and 10 on their own 36.
And if you catch it, great. You got a first down. Actually, the worst thing that happens is an incomplete pass.
Absolutely right. Oh, goodness.
In the case of that, Caden went behind the defender there. Probably should have cut in front of him and tried to do like a post-up move, like a basketball.
Well, McGillis has got stupid hops. I realize on a field and whatever, that's going to be a little different, but Caden McGillis is one of the best one-foot jumpers I've seen at the high school level. Spread formation for the Trojans going left to right. 29 seconds to work with. Dottie under pressure, throwing underneath. Little screen action on the left side. Room to run and a first down. Not much more than that for Travion Jones, who is brought down at around the 47-yard line of Lake City.
Perfect placement for Lake City. It stops the clock with 21 seconds to go.
Line of Lake City. 21.2 seconds left in a half. No, let's have an interception.
First down, trips to the right for the Trojans. Bisbal back to pass, under pressure, pulls it down, runs it, and he will run out of bounds into McBain territory. See where they mark him. They're going to mark him right at midfield, I think.
Out of bounds, right near midfield.
No, we'll call it the 49 of Lake City.
Play will be second down and 7.
9 seconds to go.
Bounds by number 9, Dwayne DeWitt.
Couple yard gain. It'll be second and 8 now with 9 seconds remaining.
Do you think you can do 2 shots, passes, or you just
get it to the sideline? But it takes so long at this level to develop. Kids just don't get downfield quite as fast as they do at the upper levels. I'm not sure. 9 seconds doesn't feel like a long time. Trips to the right for Bisbal. Bisbal looks left, looks back, moving forward. He'll heave it. This is going to be off the hands of the intended receiver. That was Elian Schichtel, who was right there.
Oh, he might have a cramp, or
Elian,
he's got a cramp.
Hopefully that's just a cramp. Yeah, he's having his teammate.
Brock Maloney was the defender on that play.
0.3 of a second remaining in the game. First half, excuse me.
Now the clock stops automatically on the incomplete.
Now Schichtel looked like he jumped a little awkwardly, Lars. They're working on his feet, pulling his toes back. That's usually an indication of cramping. That would be the best thing. You don't want anything other kind of injury. I'm pretty sure Elian's a solid basketball player too. He's got more to do, right?
So this cramping timeout is brought to you by our sponsors, Chiquita Banana.
Plochman's mustard.
Yeah.
Dill pickles.
Anything to get.
Pickle juice. Those are all the things I've heard that work. Schichtel is able to get up and hobble off under his own power, which is good to see.
He'll have to step out this play, and this will be the last play for him of the half. 0.3 seconds to go.
And get one more shot.
Now our home field clock man right here, he doesn't watch the game. He only watches the official.
That's right.
He says he doesn't even like football.
So it makes him the perfect clock operator.
He is
completely neutral.
3rd down and 7 for Lake City. Ball spotted on their own 40.
Judging by the 0.3 of a second on the clock. There's not many home clock operators that would have left 0.3 of a second on the clock. 4 receivers set for the Trojans, 2 either way. Bisbal standing just beyond his own 45-yard line. And they're going to get 5 yards as the Ramblers jump into the neutral zone. That'll make it 3rd and 3, which is kind of irrelevant. What is relevant is it takes it up to the Rambler 46-yard line.
McBain, encroachment of the neutral zone. 3rd down and 2 now for Lake City.
Don't often see 0.3 on the clock in football.
So Hunter Bisbal is a little disappointed that they're moving him up 5 yards.
Yeah, he had a 50-plus yard. Yeah, he had a 50-plus yard TD throw here. Now it's going to be under. Same formation. Bisbal back to throw. Under pressure, steps up. They were trying to create a screen, it looked like, with Jones, and Bisbal is going to get dragged down. Multiple Ramblers, but Dwayne DeWitt had a handful of jersey and did not let go until his teammates came to help. And that will do it for the first half of play here at McBain High School. 17-0. The Ramblers with the lead over the Lake City Trojans. We'll take a break. And coming back, we'll have the McBain Hardware halftime show. You don't want to miss that. We'll be back right after this.
We've all been there. We rely on our vehicles more than ever to get us where we need to go, safe and sound. McBain Auto Service is open Monday through Friday and are fully licensed and insured to serve you. With over 50 years combined experience, they specialize in everything from brakes to engine repair with no job too big or small. Stop in for a safety inspection. McBain Auto Service, located at 9438 South Maury Road in McBain, or call 231-825-2729.
My name is Tanya. I'm from Marion, and I made the switch to the new 107.9 Wcdy.
Take West Michigan Credit Union wherever you go with our easy-to-use mobile app and remote check deposit. Pay your auto loan or a mortgage. View your balance or transfer money anywhere, anytime. Join a credit union that's simply better. West Michigan Credit Union. Visit westmichigancu.com. West Michigan Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA and an equal housing lender.
FIAM is family. And like football, FIAM is also teamwork. The FIAM team has been a stable Cadillac area employer for over 40 years. FIAM is proud to support this McBain Ramblers broadcast. FIAM is currently hiring for full-time positions on all 3 shifts. So if you would like to join the FIAM family, now may just be the time. Please visit FIAM at 1550 Leeson Avenue and apply to join the FIAM team. Go Ramblers from FIAM Technologies in Cadillac.
SRM Concrete is family-owned and all about community. That's why they're supporting this broadcast. SRM Concrete was founded in 1999 with one singular goal: to provide superior ready-mix concrete service for your commercial and residential projects. With locations across northern and central lower Michigan, there's an SRM Concrete near you. From order to on-time delivery, the SRM Concrete team guarantees you'll be thrilled. Quality concrete, unmatched service. That's SRM Concrete.
In the small town of McBain lies a locally owned family pharmacy that takes pride in helping improve the health of every patient that comes through the door. At McBain Family Pharmacy, you're more than just a prescription. Here, you're family, and their experienced team of professionals are always available to answer any questions you may have regarding prescription and over-the-counter medications. McBain Family Pharmacy is your full-service family pharmacy for both traditional and compound medications. Call them today at 231-825-8175. That's 231-825-8175. Or stop by their store, located at 119 North Roland Street in McBain.
When it's late, when it's snowing, when you just have to have it. It's nice knowing McNally's Party Store in downtown McBain is open 7 days a week. Locally owned and operated with the friendliest cashiers helping to serve your grocery needs. From candy and chips to pop and munchies, McNally's Party Store, they're still keeping it cold. And wishing the McBain Ramblers good luck in tonight's game. That's McNally's Party Store in downtown McBain, open 7 days a week.
And welcome back to McBain High School, 17-0. The McBain Ramblers with the lead over the Lake City Trojans. Opening week of the 2020 football season, an abbreviated season. Would have been week 4 in normal circumstances, but of course, there is nothing normal about 2020, but schools and communities are adapting, and these young men are out here on this field with the opportunity to play. This is the McBain Hardware Halftime Show. I'm Jay Simon, and we are thrilled to welcome our Bader & Sons GreenTractor.com halftime interview guest, none other than Dr. Steve Preisel, the superintendent of McBain Schools. Can I call you Doc? Thanks for joining us.
You sure can. It's just, you know what? It's great to be back in the booth. It just absolutely is. And to see the kids out here tonight, I'm just thrilled to see the lights on.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a little different, obviously. And Lars and I talked about it a little bit in the pregame about how McBain is a Zone 4 school because of some of the areas, the counties that they draw from. And so it changes the rules just a little bit. Our sister station, 107.9 The Drive, we cover Cadillac over there. Cadillac is a Zone 5 school because they don't draw from any of those counties that are in Zone 4. And so they're able to, I believe, certain capacity they're allowed to have as far as spectators.
Right.
But here in McBain, I believe it's 2 tickets per player.
Yeah, 2 tickets per player, and then in the other zones, I believe it's 4, could be 5. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, we have a section of our school district that has about 180 students that. Due to that, we are required to be in phase 4. So, 2 tickets per player, and. Yeah, I'm just glad to get everyone out here and have the opportunity to see the kids playing.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's actually been, I know you've watched the first half. I've been very impressed. It's been a lot less sloppy than I guess maybe I expected with the limited amount of practice and preparation these teams have. These 2 teams have played very well. Lake City, of course, trails 17-0. McBain's look great on offense, but the Trojans have really done a nice job as well offensively. You would not guess that this wasn't maybe a regular opening week of any other season.
Yeah, I think that when Lake City on their first possession, they were really moving the ball, and then we came back and really had a nice drive, and then got our field goal and then another score. With our offense, it really seems, like you said, it doesn't seem like the first game because there's so much misdirection and counters and crosses. The ball hasn't hit the ground too many times. So impressed with both teams. I expect Lake City to come out with a lot of fire here, being down 17-0.
Yeah, no question. That opening drive, they had multiple runs. Travion Jones scares the bejesus out of me because that young man can really put together some runs. He gets some openings. And he's going to be trouble, but give credit to the Rambler defense here in this first half. Hawkeye, who would normally be up here with me for this broadcast, has some family in town tonight, so he had to miss it. Lars taking over for him. Did send me a text and told me in talking to Coach Maloney, he expected the defense. That's where most of the experience is for these Ramblers, and we saw that in the first half.
Yeah, and they, this really is what you would consider a team effort. I mean, you can see it with the backs, the defensive backs, the offensive backs, the offensive line, defensive line. It just seems like the kids they're really meshing. It does not seem like a game one to me either.
No, it's been a nice brand of football, and like you say, just fun to watch something that looks a little more normal finally, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't want to talk about it too long because I know that it's a constant thing because it's always on your mind. But I've got a senior here at McBain myself. Things are a little bit different in school this year, without question, with the masking and with the different rules and options and different things that people are doing. I have to give credit where credit is due. The communication, as a parent, the communication that you guys have been doing to let us know everything that's going on, everything, this change is happening or this happened or whatever, has been absolutely stellar, very impressive. And as a parent, I just want to let you know that. From an administrative perspective, what's it been like these first few weeks?
It's been difficult to prepare for. When the kids got here, and I took a picture of when the students were coming in, and it was a real surreal picture. Yeah. Seeing the kids come in with the masks. I give credit to parents like yourself, the community, the kids. It's not a real easy thing to ask for someone to wear one of these masks. A lot of us adults, it's not exactly a fun thing to wear. So we try to give kids their breaks where they can, and be a little bit lenient where we can. It's going well. I mean, I really, really mean it when I say I'm proud of the kids and how they've handled it, and our staff. But who knows when this is going to end? We could go into phase 5 and then things could loosen up even more. But right now, things are going well.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. I mean, everybody keeps talking about looking forward to 2021. The thing is, 2021 might not be a whole lot different from 2020, at least initially.
Right.
There's a lot of unknowns. You hear about the possibility of a vaccine as early as November, December. You hear it could be another 12 months. Nobody knows.
Right.
Nobody knows. And there's a lot of information out there that gets shared around, and all we can do is just keep doing the best we can to try and keep our loved ones, especially our vulnerable loved ones, safe.
Yep, and we're going to continue to try to communicate with families as best we can, and I'll just give a shout out to our health department, who I work with directly a lot, because if something does come up, we have to communicate it, and they've been very helpful.
That's fantastic. Dr. Steve Preisel, thank you so much for coming up here. I think we're supposed to fist bump now, right?
Yep. We got it. Thanks. Good to see you again.
Pleasure to have you here on the broadcast. That's Superintendent Steve Preisel, Dr. Steve Preisel of the McBain Public School System. We're going to take another quick break, and then Lars and I will give you the rundown of the first half. You're listening to McBain Rambler Football. This is the McBain Hardware Halftime Show. We'll be back right after this.
Go the extra mile with Bader & Sons Company and the unstoppable John Deere Gator XUV 835. When other utility vehicles take a rain check, we help you take the wheel and enjoy the thrill of the ride. With factory-installed 3-wide seating, heating, and AC, the XUV 835 is our coolest, most comfortable Gator yet. Isn't it time you took a John Deere Gator for a test drive? To learn more, go to greentractors.com. From Southeast Michigan to the bridge, let the experts at Bader & Sons Company show you why we are outstanding in our field.
When it's late, when it's snowing, when you just have to have it. It's nice knowing McNally's Party Store in downtown McBain is open 7 days a week, locally owned and operated, with the friendliest cashiers helping to serve your grocery needs. From candy and chips to pop and munchies, McNally's Party Store, they're still keeping it cold. And wishing the McBain Ramblers good luck in tonight's game. That's McNally's Party Store in downtown McBain, open 7 days a week.
L&J Meat Market offers fresh, locally raised beef, pork, and chicken, specializing in Misaki-made sausages and jerky. L&J Meat Market is a true family operation celebration headed up by Tim and Sandy Genema. Whether you need a hog roast or fresh brats and burgers for grilling, they're here to serve you. Check out L&J Meat Market, 4 miles south of Lake City on M66, or call 231-839-2176. That's 231-839-2176.
And welcome back to McBain High School. Jay Simon alongside Lars Fredin, Matt Jackson turning the dials for us back in the studio. Our thanks to our Bader & Sons GreenTractor.com halftime interview subject, Dr. Steve Preisel, for stopping by. Heard from him regarding his thoughts on the first half a little bit, just the joy he's getting out of just seeing these guys being able to come out here and play. And, of course, this isn't the only sport going on right now, Lars. You've got a vested interest in a different sport that is also going on that's a little bit different right now.
Yeah, you know, I mentioned to you earlier, volleyball's going on, cross country's going on. I think golf can happen. Tennis is happening. We don't have it here, but yeah, we've been, I think, 4 volleyball games this week. It's been fun. It's been interesting. You know, just the logistics of everything. They don't want money changing hands at the ticket booth. So you pay your school a certain amount of money. Mm-hmm. Let's say Roscommon, their parents will pay their school a certain money. And so the schools will just hang on to it and figure it's all a wash in the end. But you got to figure ticket prices or gate, the money you'd make at the gate is going to be down huge. There's no concessions. Right. You know, it's probably going to be a loss. Football and basketball are always a big money maker that help carry the other sports. I'm just being honest.
Well, that's the way it is at every level.
Yep.
Right.
And so it's just going to be tough because, you know, people with the lockdown, staying at home, maybe taxes and revenue from the state aren't going to be there. It's just going to be interesting to see how the whole financial thing works out for schools and sports and just even communities, you know?
Yeah, no question about that. Absolutely. And I suppose the one benefit of that all, though, Lars, is that means more folks listen to us, right?
I hope so. And it's kind of sad seeing, I mean, there's dedicated parents and grandparents here.
Absolutely.
I see some people outside the fence, which is awesome.
Yeah, kind of hanging out, peeking like the old baseball days.
McBain has got some houses across the way that are known for hosting some, you know, outside campfire parties that you can watch it. Yeah, it's just different. There's no band. Like, even our band passed away.
That's the part I miss the most. My senior daughter is in the band and is the drum major. She doesn't even get to do it for her senior year, which is a shame. But
if you look around,
do what you got to do.
There could be room to do all this.
Yeah, although I don't know how you play an instrument with a mask on.
Have you seen, now flute doesn't have it. I know Abby is a flute player, but most of the other instruments have like covers and things to keep, you know, spit from coming through
valves.
The instrument.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so the sousaphone even has this big old, you know, cover on it. But it's interesting.
Yeah, it is different, and at some point it will be nice. I don't know, week 3, week 4, it won't be the topic of conversation. But I mean, week 1, it's too much. It's there. Yeah, it's there, and you can't ignore the elephant in the room, right? There's nothing much you can do about it. But we're grateful you're listening to us, and we're glad to be able to bring you tonight's broadcast. It's a 17-0 lead for the Ramblers. That magical, mysterious 3 minutes is about to be added back to the clock. Mr. Koster is standing there ready to add that on there. It's something that's been a mystery to me for 10 years. I don't know why they do it. Don't know what the purpose is. Hey, be out here by this time. Okay, now you can have 3 more minutes. But it is what it is. It's the McBain Hardware Halftime Show, and we are grateful to all of our fine broadcast partners, and I want to take a moment while I have it to thank them again by running through them for you. They include the Judy K. Gildy Picture Perfect Play of the Game, Bader & Sons GreenTractor.com. They'll have the lineman of the game in the postgame show. The FIAM First Downs, Northern Truck Service is where we're coming from, the broadcast booth. Pluger Mechanical, our pregame show sponsor. McLean Transmission, providing streaming services, as you can listen to us by going to 107.9Wcdy.com. Click the game logo in the upper right-hand corner. You can catch us via YouTube Live, anywhere you've got a solid internet connection. And these days, you pretty much have one of those everywhere you go, it seems like. We will also want to thank L&J Meat Market. They'll have the Hawkeye Player of the Game, where we put Lars under pressure to pick that. Kelly's Pizza and Grill is our post-game show sponsor. McBain Hardware, of course, our halftime show sponsor. You're listening to that now. And Ina Store, Classic Chevrolet, McBain Rural Agricultural Schools, West Michigan Credit Union, SRM Concrete, Wexford Missaukee Career Tech Center, McBain Lake City Family Pharmacy, McNally's Party Store, McBain Auto Service, and Ebel's General Store. Our sincere thanks to each and every one of those sponsors for allowing us to bring this to you. Let's run down the first half scoring. We don't have Hawkeye here. You've got the iPad of doom, but you've not been keeping statistics.
No, it's doomed. You called it out.
You can't do it. I understand. Well, not everybody can be Hawkeye. It is what it is. But I do have the ability to tell you what happened on possessions, because I do keep track of that. Ramblers, as I mentioned, lead at 17-0. They led 10-0 after the opening quarter, after they went down 70 yards, culminating in a 2-yard touchdown run by Caden McGillis, set up by a 30-yard run by Austin Ealing. The extra point attempt from Tristan McElhenney was good, and the Ramblers led 7-0. They forced a turnover on downs from the Trojans, got it back at their own 45-yard line, put together a 16-play drive that ended in a 30-yard Tristan McElhenney field goal. Not something you see all that often at the high school level, and certainly not in McBain.
I think
since the days of Roberto, what was his last name? 2011 or so. Greatest name
I think
in
more
football.
people have seen Bigfoot than they've seen McBain field goal
That's
kickers.
a sincere possibility. Ramblers, after a Lake City punt, then got it back at their own 17-yard line, got down to the Lake City 47, and then from there it was Daniel Rodenbaugh bursting through the middle, a huge hole set up by the offensive line. And Rodenbaugh could not be caught into the end zone. Extra point was good, and it was 17-0. Trojan defense then, Lars, did settle down a little bit. They forced a punt and a turnover on downs by the Ramblers, but their offense hasn't been able to get anything going either, and so that's where the score stands, 17-0 at the half. We thought we'd see nothing but full house backfield from the Ramblers, but Maloney has shown us a couple of spread looks where he's put two receivers either side and put Dottie in the shotgun. I don't believe they've completed one. They completed one pass? I want to say he's completed one pass. I think it was McGillis.
And the thing with that is, it's just situational football. He had a 3rd and long going, so he went into that. You're not going to run spread double wides on that.
Right.
You got 1 yard to go. So just common sense football, but it also gives next week's team something they have to practice against.
I have to give a shout out, Lars, and I don't mean to make you nervous with this, but the man himself, Hawkeye, is listening to us.
Is it Mondragon?
It is. He just texted us. Roberto Mondragon was the kicker back in the 2010-11 days, the Logan Nemeth days. Back when you would give the ball to Logan and he would make 14 people miss, even though there were only 11 defenders.
Yeah, and the refs were trying to tackle him. Slow down, kid.
Oh, those were the days. A couple of trips up to, I made at least one trip to I've made two trips to Iron Mountain for games for McBain.
Yep, when you can look south and east and see Wisconsin.
Yep. This is our 7th season on the air here on 107.9 CDY. Our sincere thanks to Dom and Jen Theodore for their support and allowing us to continue to do this here on CDY, and our best wishes to Dom. Kickoff by the Ramblers is taken back near the 20-yard line, fumbled initially by Dane Blair, who recovers it and then is stacked up by the Ramblers.
Karsten Huttinga in first on that tackle.
And the Trojans will take over at their own 22-yard line to start this second half.
22-yard line of Lake City. They'll take over the ball there, 1st and 10.
You've been listening to the McBain Hardware halftime show here on 107.9 CDY. Trojans will go left to right to start the second half. Again, in their road white jerseys, black pants, red helmets.
And after their first possession, their first quarter, you feel like they can score on any play.
3 receivers for Hunter Bisbal, who throws one out into the left flat, connects with Elian Schichtel, and Schichtel will take it up to about the 28-yard line, gain of 6.
You know, just as a fan of football, not necessarily a Homer McBain fan, nice to see Elian back in there after his cramp, running full speed.
That's all we are. Hawkeye's the Homer. We're football fans.
I'm slight bias.
Trojans come to the line again with a spread look. They line up a receiver to the near side. That is Gavin Bisbal. Hunter will fake the handoff, try to take it up the middle, and the Ramblers read it beautifully, staying home defensively. We're going to give that young man credit. Oh, Matt Utek with the tackle on the inside with some help. Got to the 30-yard line, give him a couple. And it'll be 3rd and about 3 now for the Trojans, as the younger Bisbal, I assume, comes to the near side again. 2 receivers, 1 either way. Pistol formation. Handoff is to Travion Jones, and Jones wrapped up by the ankle and stopped cold just outside the 31, maybe the 32. This is going to be about 1.5 yards shy and bring up 4th down now for McBain. 10:20 remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
Going back a couple plays, Matt Utek there, he's not a huge kid, but he's all heart. He's playing defensive end right now, and he's just reading his keys, and he did a good job of making the tackle a couple plays ago.
Yeah, I've seen Matt run into a gymnasium in a full footy deer outfit, so I can't see him as a football player now.
Man of spirit.
Pistol formation. Bisbal trying to draw the Ramblers offside, no doubt. No, actually, they're going to run the play. Jones up the middle. Jones avoids a tackler, stretches out, and I think he's got it. Yep. Jones got hit initially, would have likely been short, but spun away. He is a tough tackle. And he fights his way to the 34-yard line and picks up a 1st down for Lake City. Nice run from Travion Jones.
Oh, you mentioned the iPad of Doom here.
Yes.
The reason I brought it is I knew there isn't a program that they hand out for COVID reasons.
Oh, sure.
So they have QR codes all over the stadium, so you can take your phone and take a picture of that, and then it takes you to a link of McBain.
I got lucky because the Hall of Famer gave me one of his lists. Handoff in the backfield. This is Braden Becker, and Becker will take it over the 35 to about the 36-yard line, couple yard gain.
You know, Lake City's offense isn't making a ton of gain yardage-wise. They're still on the field.
Well, I was going to say, I think that was their first down since their opening possession. If I'm not mistaken, they picked up 2 first downs on their opening possession, didn't have another one until that a moment ago. Pistol formation again for Bisbal. Bisbal will fake the hand. Oh, he tried to hand it off. Ball's on the turf and diving out, and I think the Ramblers have it.
Ramblers ball.
He tried to hand that off to Dane Blair, and I don't know if Blair thought he was going to fake it.
Dwayne DeWitt.
And DeWitt comes up with the loose ball, diving between Bisbal and Blair. And the Ramblers are in business. 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line of the Trojans.
Oh, Calvin McGillis, number 6. Dwayne DeWitt's number 9.
Calvin McGillis?
Yeah.
So nice.
So he's a sophomore. He bolted out of there with a lot of speed.
Is this Carly's?
So the Ramblers will come out in the full house backfield. Dottie will hand it off. This is McGillis. McGillis bouncing around the left edge. Had to kind of run over Travion Jones. Or no, excuse me, that was Hunter Bisbal, actually, who is kind of in his way.
On that stop number 10, Hunter Bisbal.
So that turnover gives McBain great field position. And Caden's running hard after his little brother, Calvin, gets the turnover.
Calvin says, you better do something with this. 5-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 5 for the Ramblers. 8:05 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Dottie with the full house backfield behind him, under center. He'll hand it off to Rodenball. Rodenball straight up the middle, untouched. Rodenball makes a cut inside the 10 and then dragged down. I think somebody got a piece of the ball, forced him to kind of slow down briefly. So a nice tackle, touchdown saving tackle by Oakley Barger.
Number 8, Oakley
He's going to come out.
First and goal for McBain on the 8-yard line.
But it's first and goal for the Ramblers now at the 8 after the 27-yard run by Daniel Rodenbaugh. 7:45 and ticking to go here in the third quarter. McBain going right to left in their all green with yellow trim, yellow helmets. Their home jerseys. Handoff is to Ealing. Ealing has to try and hurdle a defender. Will be brought down at around the 5-yard line. 3-yard gain. It'll be second and goal from the 5.
Several Trojans in on that stop. It'll be second and 5.
I'm giving credit to several Trojans on the stop because his spotter has no idea.
When you pack everybody in there, there's not much room to see individual stuff.
Full house backfield again for the Ramblers. Dottie hands it off. This is McGillis. McGillis into the end zone. Touchdown, Ramblers. Caden McGillis with his second score of the game puts the Ramblers up 23-0 with 6:58 remaining.
He's like, I got you, little brother. I'll get a touchdown on this possession.
2-yard touchdown in the first quarter, a 5-yard touchdown run here. And so now the bright green shoes appropriate for the kicker of Tristan McElhenney will try to add the extra point. Good snap, good hold. McElhenney, though, drills it right into the back of his offensive line. Didn't get the toe underneath that one, so the extra point, no good. But with 6:58 to go here in the third, the Ramblers enjoy a 23-0 lead over the Trojans. We'll take a 30-second break and be back right after this.
FIAM is family, and like football, FIAM is also teamwork. The FIAM team has been a stable Cadillac area employer for over 40 years. FIAM is proud to support this McBain Ramblers broadcast. FIAM is currently hiring for full-time positions on all 3 shifts, so if you would like to join the FIAM family, now may just be the time. Please visit FIAM at 1550 Leeson Avenue and apply to join the FIAM team. Go Ramblers from FIAM Technologies in Cadillac.
Cadillac's #1.
Turn me up. Let's go. Sing along to
107.9 CDY.
And welcome back to McBain High School. Jay Simon alongside Lars Fredin, Matt Jackson. An incredible baritone voice. Just wild. I
just can't stop
talking about it. It's just seriously, he's in my ear. He sounds like he's a grizzled 55-year-old or something. That's why he's in the DMP program there at the Wexford Misaki Career Tech Center under the watchful eye of Rich Spicer, both as his teacher and as his
so he's running an
mentor here at the station
right now.
Yeah, he's getting some real-world experience. Fantastic thing that CDY does, as well as local TV stations. They also allow our young folks at DMP to get some practical experience. Matt's been doing a great job turning the dials for us back in the studio. 23-0, the Ramblers doing a great job out on the field as McElhenney will drill this one low bouncer into the hands at around the 15-yard line of Andrew Van Dynen. And I don't think Andrew Van Dynen returns too many kicks as he had to retreat. And he will be spotted at around the 33.
For the Trojans. 23 at the tackle. On the stop, number 23.
No typical starting position for McBain opponents.
Yeah, right around between the 30 and 40-yard line almost every time, without question.
Trust your defense, the bend but not break.
There you go. 6:55 to go here in the third quarter. 23-0 McBain. Trojans trying to get something going offensively. 2 receivers split to the left, pistol formation for Bisbal. Bisbal will run left, hand it off to Jones. Great penetration. Ball on the turf. I thought that was a flag. It bounces back into the hands of Bisbal. Bisbal will advance it and actually picks up a yard. I thought a flag had come out. It was a great tackle in the backfield by Brant Bonico, who hit Jones initially. And I don't know if, did he purposely flip that back?
Probably.
I'm assuming, because it really went far. Bisbal catches it off the bounce and actually picks up a yard. It's going to be second and 9.
I know I'm not down there standing where the officials are, but did it look like he was down?
I couldn't tell. He was buried beneath a mound of green. Jones already pretty low to the ground.
Maybe he's laying on some green.
Yeah, I don't know. 6:10 to go here in the third. This time Jones in motion will set up next to Bisbal. Excuse me, that's not Jones. That is Braden Becker, who takes the handoff and then is hit in the backfield. What a tackle by Calvin McGillis. Penetration.
Having a big second half.
Indeed.
Number 6, Calvin McGillis.
Great penetration by McGillis as they ran the sweep
for Lake City
with Becker. Excuse me, yeah, Braden Becker. And the sophomore, the younger McGillis, gets the stop.
I'd like to see Calvin and Caden together. I think Calvin might have some height on him. The little brother being taller.
Yeah. Well, that's not a bad thing because McGillis is a tall drink of water. 5 1/4 remaining here in the third. Again, 23-0 Ramblers.
Seems to be so far after 4 weeks of school.
Bisbal fakes the handoff, rolls left. Under pressure. We got a flag in the backfield. Bisbal, though, has room to run. Bisbal over the 40 and then devastated. Got tripped up low and McGillis buried him high. Bisbal bounced right back up, though. He's okay. But that flag in the backfield with the penetration by the Ramblers is probably a hold, and it is.
Preliminary signal from
that one's going to hurt because it is deep in the backfield, Lars. That's going to take them back inside their 20.
Literally hurting because, Bisbal taking the knee to the helmet with the Calvin's tackle. But you're right. When you're a quarterback, you take that punishment, and then it doesn't even count.
They're going to call it from the 30, so this is going to take them back to the 20-yard line. It's basically a loss of 12 on the play, and it's going to bring up third. And I believe, Lars, we are officially in country mile territory.
Oh, yeah.
24.
It's going to be third down.
I'm sure they're going to talk a little bit about that. I have to give a shout out to Gary Vanna. Talked about the CTC program. Gary's running this Rambler Review here at school.
Yep.
He's getting kids involved. I'll tell you, they're taking off.
Got a little tent out there.
They're taking off with just technology.
It's nuts.
Going
the truth is nobody's actually listening to it.
They're all watching the Rambler Review.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's our competition tonight, isn't it?
Bisbal back to throw, rolling to his left, surveying the field, lots of time, throws back off across his body and almost connects, but then drilled by McGillis. My goodness, what timing. Caden McGillis, the ball hits Elian Schichtel in the chest, and then McGillis caves him in. Goodness gracious, good to see Elian Schichtel walking that one off, but man, did McGillis hit him hard.
And he knew he had a good hit, too. He was looking over to his friends on the sideline.
Yeah, that's where you bounce up like, did everybody see that?
Yeah.
Did everybody see that? Yeah, that is a dream situation for a cornerback and a nightmare for a wide receiver. That ball is coming, and you're like, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Am I going to get to this ball before I get leveled? 4th down and 24 now for the Trojans from their 20. Back to punt. And I keep meaning to give this young man credit. Grayson Elmquist is your punter. Another nice one. McGillis corrals it. McGillis around the left edge over midfield and takes it down to about the 47-yard line of the Trojans, but we have a flag and it is being adjusted for a mark, which is usually a hold.
So far away from the play. That's the funny thing.
Well, that's usually where they happen. It's never a hold that actually sprung the runner. It's usually a hold that meant nothing on the far side of the field. But a hold is a hold, Lars.
Well, the refs have to get their money's worth. Come on.
They
got quotas to fill.
No. That is baloney. They would love a game where they didn't have to make a single call. All right, maybe some of them wouldn't like that, but most of them would love a game where they didn't have to make a single call. That's going to send them back. The ball will be marked right around the 38-yard line.
The ball, 1st and 10 on their own 38-yard line.
But the Rambler defense has done a great job in this second half. Forced a fumble on the first Lake City possession. Now a punt, and they'll have 1st and 10 at their own 38 with 4.5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter.
Gonna hang on the ball. He could be a horse.
Full house backfield behind Dottie. Blitz coming. Handoff is to Rodenbaugh. Tries to bounce it around the right side, but nothing doing there. And I believe the Trojans had 10 men in the box on that one, Lars. That was...
Why would you not? I mean,
what is that called in Madden? I think that's called Engage 8. And then you grab a cornerback and bring him in, so it's really 9.
No, listen,
Not a Madden player?
I played with Pat Maloney in high school, and this is what our coach had us run. Just try to run over people, and eventually you sneak a tight end dump in there.
Dottie will hand it off to McGillis. McGillis trying the left side, cuts inside a defender, manages to pick up positive yards. We got another flag coming in late.
Quota, I'm telling you.
I'm from the middle. I'm not sure what this one's going to be. This will be interesting. Be a weird place for a hold, but it could happen.
Yeah.
And it is. No block in the back. So the Ramblers, after we gave them credit the first half for really playing fairly clean football, are starting to shoot themselves in the foot, proverbially. So instead of a 3-yard pickup.
Well, the thing is, too, every penalty, the clock is stopped. If you're just trying to run it out, waste some time.
I mean, part of the reason you run the full house is because you're trying to keep the clock going.
Control the game by controlling the offense.
Maloney looks like a ninja out there on the sideline with his black mask. Clapping, encouraging the kids to stay focused, stay positive. Ball marked at the 33. There will be second down and about 15 for McBain. 3:52 to go here in the third quarter. Ramblers come to the line again, full house. Trojans have some defenders on the outside edge, but they are within 4 yards of the line of scrimmage. Handoff is to Ealing. Ealing bounces it around the right side, gets a nice seal block. Little hesitation move, makes a man miss, and gets over the 40 down to around the 44-yard line. Austin Ealing with a nice 11-yard pickup gives them a third and relatively short, about 5.
Something that they can handle.
Something
what a great setup by Austin Ealing, setting up his guy on the inside and then jumping to the outside to set up the block.
Yeah, great block there on the outside. Was that McGillis on the outside?
It would be McGillis.
Yeah.
Rodenbaugh would have gone up off the edge there.
3 minutes remaining here in the third. 23-0. McBain has been in charge all game. Handoff, McGillis. McGillis sprinting around the left edge. McGillis has the edge. McGillis with the first down and then pushed out of bounds in Rambler territory at the 35-yard line. And it is a Fiam first down for the Ramblers.
Put him out.
I'm going to say that so often, Brett's actually going to be tired of it. He's going to be like, just do it every other first down. He's grinning too big. No, I guess that's not going to happen.
Now, Caden didn't really want to set up any blocks there. He just was going to outrun his blockers.
And he had that ball way out in that left arm, trying to run as hard as he could.
Brothers in, we got there's three.
Clock stopped on the out of bounds. So 2:49 remaining here in the third quarter. First down from the Lake City 45-yard line for the Ramblers. Full house backfield again. Dottie will hand it off Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh up the middle. Rodenbaugh tripped up. Nice shoestring tackle there on the inside. I think that's Travion Jones, actually. He got his foot. Makes it up to the 41, gain of 4, second and 6.
Some of these are just ISO plays where Caden fills into the hole first, isolates it for Daniel to run through. If every lineman gets the lineman in front of him, Caden can get up to the linebacker. And then just let your athletes be athletes.
Over here on this side.
Right, but he did have it, and they keep adjusting after. Yeah.
Dottie under center. We'll hand it off to McGillis, and McGillis struggling.
22 McGillis. Yeah. Number 22.
To free himself, will take it up past the 40 down to about the 37-yard line.
The 38-yard line. It'll be third down and 3.
All right, sorry, Hall of Famer says 38. 38 it is. Minute 52 and ticking to go here in the third quarter. 23-0 McBain with the lead.
Got 2 McGillises in the backfield. Yeah. Austin Ealing came out for a breather.
Oh, all right. Interesting. Well, now can you tell who's taller?
Oh, yeah.
Little brother's taller.
Is he?
Yeah.
All right.
He's farther away, and he's still above him.
So Calvin McGillis is the back to the far side. Dottie, looked like that snap might have come a little late. We got a flag from the ref. Whitecap will call the dead ball
Illegal
procedure on the Ramblers, and that'll cost them 5.
It'll be 3rd down and 8.
Take them back to the 42 of Lake City with a minute and a half to go here in the 3rd. It's about the only thing you can say has gone poorly for McBain so far in this game is the penalties.
Yeah. Now, will he go into the spread here, or will he stick with the full house backfield? Double tight.
It's the maroon zone.
3rd and long.
Two play territory. Said the broadcaster, like I know what I'm saying. Dottie fakes, rolling to his left, and he goes down, touched his knee, so he is down back at the 48-yard line. Trying to set something up with McGillis on the outside. He also, I believe, was looking for Dwayne DeWitt, who was also running a pattern on that side. But in high school, once your knee touches the turf, the play is dead. Can't get back up. It's that way in college still, too, isn't it?
Yes.
They should change that rule in college.
Well, once they start paying the athletes, they probably will.
Well, they feel like they are paying the athletes. Boy, that's a whole other conversation, isn't it? Inside 35 seconds, Rodenbaugh will set up now at quarterback. He'll take a few steps back and will pooch punt this thing away from the back, and the Ramblers get down and force them to down it at the 12. So nice job by the Ramblers. Rodenbaugh, it's a really great play. Rodenbaugh hesitates long enough that a few guys can get downfield, hits that pooch punt. I mean, I'm not sure I've seen Rodenbaugh kick a full punt in a while, but he's inside the 50, so he just pooches it, gets a good roll, and now we've got McBain with good, sets Lake City back at the 12-yard line.
It's almost been the perfect game for McBain besides the penalties. Playing really well. First game of the season. They expect a little rustiness out of some stuff, but they have been practicing for over a month.
Yeah. Well, and defensively, they look like the team from last year. I mean, last year's team, goes 6-3 and then, 5-4 and sneaks into the playoffs, picks up a win over Oscoda, and then loses to CC St. Francis in a game they were really in. I mean, they played St. Francis tough. And it was all because of the defensive side of the ball. I mean, they had spurts. They had some offensive firepower. I mean, I'm sure that Maloney would like Garrett Berberkmos on this as a receiving target. Senior skipping football this year. Handoff is to Becker, and Becker is going to get buried back at the 10-yard line. Nowhere to go for Braden Becker.
Stop just outside the 10-yard line. Loss of a yard.
Great up front battles by McBain's D-line. Derek Camphouse is in there.
Number 6, Calvin McGillis.
There's the quarter.
Landon Ealing.
Yes, sir. 3 quarters in the books. Final one coming up. Ramblers in charge, 23-0 here in McBain over the Lake City Trojans. We'll take a break. 4th quarter action coming up. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this.
Go the extra mile with Bader & Sons Company and the unstoppable John Deere Gator XUV 835. When other utility vehicles take a rain check, we help you take the wheel and enjoy the thrill of the ride. With factory-installed 3-wide seating, heating, and AC, the XUV 835 is our coolest, most comfortable Gator yet. Isn't it time you took a John Deere Gator for a test drive? To learn more, go to greentractors.com. From Southeast Michigan to the bridge, let the experts at Bader & Sons Company show you why we are outstanding in our field.
McBain Rural Agricultural Schools is looking for the next generation of Ramblers. If you want to give your child the gift of a great education, make McBain Rural Agricultural Schools your school of choice. Every McBain Rambler gets a MacBook or iPad, a strong curriculum, including a variety of vocational programs, great athletics, and access to a brand new state-of-the-art performing arts center. If you want a school that will challenge your child, support your child, and celebrate your child's individuality, visit McBain.org or call 231-825-2165.
And welcome back to McBain High School. Jay Simon alongside Lars Fredin, the deepest voice of any board op you'll ever hear. Matt Jackson turning the dials for us back in the studio. What do you think his DJ name will be?
Ooh.
Assuming he, goes on the air. He's got to go on the air, right? Can't sound like that.
Got a quarter to think about that.
Yeah, you'll have to think about that one. We'll have to assign him. If Hawkeye was here, he'd already have a nickname for him. Everybody gets one. 23-0 Ramblers with the lead as we start the fourth quarter of action here in McBain. Trojans with the ball, facing a 2nd down and 11 from their own 11, going right to left. Hunter Bisbal, the quarterback, will keep it himself, tries the middle after faking the handoff to Becker, fights his way forward to the 15-yard line. It's going to be a gain around 5, call it 4.5. And it will bring up a long 3rd and 6.
Yeah, Hunter's a dangerous runner out there.
Great athlete.
It's the whole hard. The thing is, he's playing both offense and defense, and you wonder how much is left in the fourth quarter by these athletes that are playing both ways.
Yeah. That's the problem with being one of your team's better athletes. They need you on both sides.
You look at both sides, too. They have a pretty deep bench. Plenty of players on either side.
For Class C schools, absolutely. For Division, Division 3 schools. Well, Division 7 schools, really.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go to Division 1, there's like 100 people on the team.
Yeah. 3rd and 7. Bisbal with 3 receivers, 2 split to his right. Back to pass, throwing inside. Nice throw and catch. Made a little bit of a late hit. Oakley Barger with the catch, and Barger took a shot to the helmet. I'm not going to lie, to me that looked like a shot to the head. Barger does get up. He's kind of limping. I think he's more worried about his leg than he is his head, but it was a nice tackle. But what a catch by Barger, because that throw was a bullet and high. He went up and climbed the ladder, pulled it down.
If I can picture that kid, I remember him from middle school basketball, and he is a tough kid. He plays aggressive and physical player.
I want to cry just watching that after the play. First down at the 34-yard line of the Trojans for Lake City. Bisbal back to throw. Steps up into the pocket, rolling to his right. Still looking to throw. Now he'll tuck it. Bisbal across the 40, trying to spin away from a defender, and then the Rambler defensive backs with a head of steam come up and meet him at around the 43-yard line and bring him down. But that's a 9-yard pickup.
Great pickup by Hunter Bisbal. Great spin move. But you got to be careful. Even Barry Sanders got hit quite a few times. He looked good. But when you got 5-6 people around you and you spin, you don't know where they're coming from.
Yeah. You almost got to be looking out of the corner of your eye that way. If I spin this way, is there anybody there? 2nd and 1 now for the Trojans. Becker is in the backfield with Bisbal. Steps up to his side, fakes the handoff. Bisbal straight up the middle. He's got the first down. Bisbal coming to the left side, trying to avoid Austin Ealing, and he can't. Ealing brings him down.
I love how that play develops. All Hunter Bisbal does is holds his hand out in front of him. One guy goes one way, one guy goes the other way. He just goes forward, and there's no defense there. I love that play.
First down for the Trojans at the 48-yard line of Lake City. 5-yard pickup by Hunter Bisbal. And based on first downs, this is tied for the best possession the Trojans have had all day. 2 first downs on this drive. 10-19 remaining here in the ball game. 23-0 McBain with the lead.
And they've all been Hunter Bisbal following the blocks of the line.
Bisbal in the pistol. He's got Becker in the backfield. Fakes it to Becker. Back to throw. Looking to his right. Lines up. Fires it downfield. A lot of people in the way. Is that caught? It is. What a catch. Are you kidding me?
Is it Karsten Huttinga? Looks like it.
I think it was 23.
Uh-oh, they're going to talk. It might be the Calvin Johnson rule. He might have put it on the ground as he stepped up.
Well, let's give credit first on the pick. Was it Karsten Huttinga? Oh, there is a flag back. There's a flag back at the 35-yard line. Karsten Huttinga, we think, was the interception, the interceptor. The white hat coming. It's going to be a hold on the defense. So defensive holding.
And it's not like a pass interference the pros. So
it happened early. So this will be a 5-yard penalty if I'm not mistaken.
Against McBain.
I thought from the line of scrimmage, defensive holding. Isn't that all it is?
No, I don't know the result of the play.
Automatic first down?
That was a pretty amazing interception. That looked like a one-handed.
I thought he was just going to bat it down, and he almost looked like he brought that in one-handed. That was a great interception. And he had that sighted from the middle of the field the whole way. He came over from the middle of the field and stepped in front of the intended receiver and the Rambler defender that had him on the far side. And Karsten just pulled that in.
Holding against McBain.
But it is defensive holding on the Ramblers.
Marked off, be 10 yards.
So it's a 10-yard penalty.
On the 42-yard line.
So I love how the refs make it official. They go back to the line of scrimmage.
And they walk off 10 yards.
They have the chains that they can watch.
They look over, they can just step out. Yeah. Well, you know, it's
10 seconds of our life we'll never get back.
Stop. Oh, my goodness. First down at the 41-yard line of the Ramblers as the handoff is to Becker. Becker with room to run. Becker over the 40, 30. Becker sheds a tackler. Still on his feet. Now the ball's on the turf. And Caden McGillis. No, I think that's Karsten. I want to say that's 23. It is. Karsten Huttinga with the fumble recovery, so they took away his interception, and he picks up the fumble recovery. That's right. Wow.
I feel bad for the Lake City runner. He did a great job getting downfield. He just did one too many dances.
It was a spectacular play by Becker, but yeah, you're absolutely right. He got inside the 30, tried to cut back to the middle of the field, and that's what hurt him because you had 3 or 4 Ramblers coming the other way. Somebody poked it out. And Karsten Huttinga, who had the interception taken away, ends up with the fumble recovery. Sure was looking pretty good for Lake City on that drive, but instead the Ramblers, with 9:51 remaining here in the ball game, take over 1st and 10 at their own 27. Dottie with the full house backfield will hand it off to Ealing. Ealing around the right side, dives forward. Did he stay in bounds? Nope, they're going to say he stepped out of bounds. Back at around the 33-yard
line.
I haven't seen him stop. He's not even like number 12.
Unless they're saying his knee was down before he dove, which is a possibility. He dove forward, but I don't know if his foot stepped out of bounds. The way they marked it, it looked like his foot stepped out of bounds. But
yeah, they didn't though. So
they did not stop the clock, so they're going to say his knee was down maybe back there.
Yeah,
in any case,
slid quite a ways.
2nd down, handoff, straight up the middle. Rodenbaugh carrying about 4 white jerseys on his back. Takes it over the 40-yard line down to the 44. And that is another Rambler Fiam first down with 9:06 to go here in the ball game.
Both teams still playing hard. Seeing a lot of good sportsmanship out there with helping each other up afterward, too. But, you know, we've looked at each other after a few plays, and they're both on the ground. Maybe a little chippiness starting to happen, but so far it's looking okay.
Teams are very, very familiar with each other. These kids, of course, going to school, 12 miles apart? Something like that? Blitz coming from the Trojans. Handoff is to Rodenbaugh, and Rodenbaugh doing his best to carry as many players as he can with him. Did not like the extended hug that he got from the defense.
Never went down, gave him a little stare.
I don't know, at the high school level, as soon as a kid's got 2 guys grabbing him and driving him backward, whistle should blow. I'm not sure why you keep that up.
It did, but it's a macho thing. Yeah.
Again, I will reiterate what I said in the first half. 2 hardest jobs in the world are officiating and mothering, and I want nothing to do with either one. So
I think
kudos to these
making nicknames
men and
for
women
this,
in stripes. No, I know I don't have to worry about that, but
I guarantee one of those two is never.
Ealing with the handoff is tripped up and brought down. Gabriel Artis with the tackle for the Trojans.
It'll be 3rd down and
takes it up to around the 40.
On to stop number 7, Braden Becker.
8-yard line. I got to disagree with his spotter. I thought that was Gabriel Artis. But we'll give Becker credit for the tackle as well, no problem. 7.5 minutes to go here in the 4th. I'm telling you, it's like a tomb in this press box. It's so quiet. I'm glad I'm comfortable broadcasting now, because otherwise it's tough. Here's Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh busting up the right sideline. Rodenbaugh still in bounds. Rodenbaugh! Touchdown, Ramblers!
Yep.
Touchdown,
Ramblers. Did not step on the line, and Daniel Rodenbaugh, on a rare run outside the tackles, takes it up the right sideline, dancing within 6 inches of that white line all the way up.
Closer. I'd say an inch.
And he is into the end zone. What a run. 52 yards to the house.
All right, here we go.
So McElhenney is going to try this left-footed. Tristan McElhenney with the left-footed extra point is good. Are you kidding me? Did somebody just flip reality on me? What's going on? Unbelievable.
Did someone tell him at the halftime?
Hey, dude,
I think you're left-footed. You know, you go up to try to dunk it, and you're jumping off the wrong foot. You should try this way.
I don't know, but wow. I have officially seen everything. 7:09 remaining in the ball game. Ramblers with a 30-0 lead, 3 successful extra points, a 30-yard field goal. It's 2020. What are you going to do?
Well, one did get blocked, which is too bad.
But still, when was the last time the Ramblers had 3 extra points in a game, for crying out loud? We'll keep it right here. Jay Simon alongside Lars Ferdine, Matt Jackson back in the studio for us. 30-0 Ramblers all over the Trojans here in week 1 of the abbreviated 2020 high school football season. Ramblers, other than some issues with penalties, they have been pretty much flawless on both sides of the ball. And they have a lot of seniors on the defensive side. And as you mentioned, Lars, that senior backfield, it's a young offensive line, but it's a senior backfield. And they are really tearing it up. We don't have official stats, unfortunately, but they are piling up the yards.
Yeah.
52-yard touchdown run there by Daniel Rodenbaugh. Dylan Rodenbaugh, I'm not sure
Yeah,
he could
our
probably
tech
run
guy,
52 yards. He could do it.
They're cousins.
Yeah.
Number 12.
I don't know if Dylan. I hear Dylan's name all the time on the radio, so it's got me all messed up. Let's see if McElhenney will kick this left-footed. He will. So Tristan McElhenney has apparently stepped into a reverse time machine and is now kicking left-footed instead of right. And he will send this straight up the middle low. Oops, sorry, to the near sideline low. One hop is retrieved.
Calvin right
by, yep, Gabriel Artis scooped it up. And Calvin McGillis
really stepping up in the second half, isn't he?
Sure is. Mentioned his name quite a bit here.
On that stop, number 6, Calvin McGillis.
7:05 to go here in the ball game. Trojans take over at their own 32-yard line.
So Lake City's had some success with Hunter Bisbal running it. They've had a few passes. See what they come out and try.
Well, we haven't seen Travion Jones in a while either in the backfield.
Yeah, he had the great first.
Not sure if he's out on the field. Hopefully that young man's all right. Right now they've got Dane Blair in the backfield. Blair will get the handoff, and the Ramblers come bursting through. He gets
little Matt Utek.
Utek with the actual
What
tackle.
did you say he was in? He was in what outfit?
It was like a deer.
Did the deer outfit?
A doe outfit or something.
The buck stops here. Huh?
Give Jesse Sikkema some credit too, Lars. He came bursting through and caused Blair to have to pause, and that allowed Utek to wrap him up and finish him. Ramblers with great penetration defensively there. 6:35 and ticking to go here in the ball game. 30-0 McBain. 4 receiver set for Bisbal. Becker is the lone back. Nope, sorry, that's Blair again. Fakes it to Blair. Bisbal will roll to his left, wants to throw. Wounded duck underneath, and it's picked off. Karsten Huttinga with another interception, and this one will count. No flags on the field, and the Ramblers will get it back with another turnover, third of the game for the Ramblers.
Just playing center field back there, Karsten is, and reading the pass. Looks like Dane Blair made the tackle on that to save too much yardage coming back for Karsten, but that's 2 turnover recoveries, if you will, for Karsten.
Yep, interception and a recovered fumble. And it gives the Ramblers, with 6:16 remaining in the game, first down at the Lake City 43-yard line. Deacon Dottie, who's just been managing the game. Rodenbaugh, did he lose the ball? Trojans seem to think they have it.
Yep.
They do. Daniel Rodenbaugh puts the ball on the turf, and Lake City gets the turnover right back. So credit the Trojans fighting off the pick and coming up with the turnover, and they'll take over at their own 43-yard line.
Look like number 9.
First miscue of the game for the Ramblers. And Lake City says, thank you very much. 4 seconds, and they get it right back.
A new set of downs.
Bisball in the pistol. One receiver split either way. Becker in the backfield with him. Sorry, that's Jones. Jones with the handoff. Jones makes one man miss and then spins right into a tackler, but he does get to midfield. So a 7-yard pickup for Travion Jones. It'll be 2nd and 3 for the Trojans as we get inside the 6-minute mark here in the final quarter.
See, that run looked like the one in the first period there. He's hitting the hole hard. He's getting downfield quick. I mean, he's 8 yards down very fast.
And he's not a big target as far as tackling him. He is quick. Formation this time is Bisball will go under center. Jones is your running back. Jones with the handoff. Jones, room to run. First down and more. Jones inside the 40, inside the 35, brought down at the McBain 31-yard line. Call it we'll call it the 31.
See, that's
it is a Trojan first down.
If you're a Rambler fan, that's what you were worried about in the first period. That's what they looked like they could have been doing the whole game.
Clock stops as they move the chains. 5.5 minutes remaining in the ball game. Trojans trying to get on the board. I formation again. Jones stays out there as the running back. Bisball under center. Bisball gives it to Jones. Jones tries the left side of the line, and this time nothing there as he is driven back by Calvin McGillis with the tackle.
Stopped at the 32-yard line.
Coach Maloney pleading with the linesman about something. I don't know what.
74.
Coach got a coach, though. They're always doing that, right?
Yeah, Matthew Sycamore is getting manhandled back in the backfield. You know, the play's already gone by, and he's still getting blocked. So I'm sure that's what Pat's talking about.
Give him a yard, half yard. It's 2nd down and 9 from the 30. Bisball under center, back to pass, rolling to his left, under pressure. Bisball trying to get to the sideline, tucks the ball, and nice tackle.
Brant Bonico right there.
What a job by Bonico, and then we get a flag come out late.
That's going to be some talking.
Yeah.
Stopped at the 30-yard line. There is a flag on the field.
I didn't necessarily see anybody come in late.
No.
I'm not sure. It was a shoestring tackle. Another Rambler defender did come in kind of over Bisball. I don't know that he hit him, but he was still going to the ground. I mean, it's bang, bang. It's a tough call to make, but a late flag like that is usually an indication of some shenanigans.
But if something was said, yeah.
Or if something was said, you're absolutely
And really, if you control it now, it doesn't get worse.
Right, right. The referee still talking with his linesman and his umpire as they clarify this. The flag is at the 29-yard line. It is a personal foul against McBain. Should be able to hear him through the window. I didn't hear it, though.
If something was said, wouldn't that be on sportsmanlike?
Yeah, that's what I would think. Yeah, the personal foul is an indication of something.
Like a late hit or something.
Right, exactly. That feels like a late hit or twisting an ankle in the pile.
There was nothing obvious there.
No. And you're right. If they said something, that would be unsportsmanlike conduct. But in any case, Trojans will benefit. 4:26 remaining. 15-yard penalty takes it up to the Rambler 15-yard line, and it's 1st and 10 for Lake City. Bisball again under center. 2 receivers, 1 each way. I formation. Becker is the running back. Becker gets the handoff, and Becker is wrapped up and dropped by Landon Ealing after getting across the 15, giving 2 to the 13-yard line.
17. On the stop, number 17, Landon Ealing.
4:07 and ticking to go here in the ball game. Trojans going right to left across your radio dial, trying to put some points on the board. They trail the Ramblers 30-0. Lake City breaks the huddle. 2 receivers jog to the right. 1 receiver comes to the near side. Bisball now in the pistol. He's got Jones as his running back. Bisball fakes the pitch and then tries to come back left, and I don't know if that was intended or not, but boy, getting into the backfield quickly was Brant Bonico and wrapped Bisball up.
51.
Rodenbaugh went to help Bisbal up, and Bisbal didn't want his help, but then lineman
just
giving
Justin
Rodenbaugh a hand up.
Rosecrans. Well, I think Rodenbaugh was in there first on a blitz, and I think Rosecrans was like, dude, that was an awesome play you just had on me. And he gave him a high five. Brandt was getting double teamed and still got back there, got the second hit.
Loss of 6 on the play. It's going to be 3rd and 13 now from about the 19-yard line. 2:48 and ticking to go in the ball game. Jones is the running back, I formation. Devin Jorgensen is the fullback. 2 receivers to the near side, nobody to the far side. Dottie under center. Hands it off to Jones. Jones trying the right side, and the Ramblers again, Lars, with very good penetration. And they bring Jones down right about the line of scrimmage, no gain.
I do like Lake City's I formation here. I almost think you could bring them closer to the line for how quick they hit that hole.
Jones doesn't need a head of steam.
No, they're almost too deep.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he needs a head of steam.
The hole's closing up by the time the running back gets there.
4th down and 14.
Yeah, I understand higher levels why you do that, because you want the blocks to form, right? But at this level, it's like it's there instantly. You either hit it or missed. Jones again, the running back. Pistol this time for Dottie. Bisbal fakes the handoff, rolls to his right, throwing into the end zone behind his intended receiver. Did he make the catch? They're saying no. It was there. Gabriel Artis was the intended receiver, but he couldn't quite pull it in. The ball was thrown just behind Artis, and Bisbal didn't lead him.
First down, the ball goes over to McBain.
So it is a turnover on downs, and McBain will take over. Gabriel Artis, the intended receiver on that one. 1:50 to go here in the ball game. Try to help the Hall of Famer out.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard me, though.
Yes, I did.
And the thing, Artis didn't complain about that, too, because it looked like he really was close to catching that.
You would think he'd have bounced up, arguing that he made the catch. But actually, the line judge over here standing at the 15-yard line called it incomplete. So that must have been pretty clear from a field standpoint. So the Ramblers, Dottie will give it to the other McGillis, Calvin McGillis, trying around the right side. He does look taller and bigger than his bigger brother.
Stop short of the 25-yard line.
McGillis stopped at around the 25.
On to stop number 16, Travion Jones.
Called a 6-yard gain. It's 5.5.
Got some new backfield in there.
2nd and 5. Yeah, I would assume we would see a new backfield, Lars. Who do we got back there?
Ealing's out now. McGillis is out on the sideline. They're so tight you can't see numbers.
No. And now they're waiting for the back judge to raise his hand before they go. And they're going to take knees here with a minute to go. Yep, absolutely.
So it doesn't really matter who's in the backfield, huh?
No, it really doesn't. They got a final for you over on our sister station, 107.1 The Drive. The Cadillac Vikings defeat the Alpena Wildcats 27-0 to open their season. And, barring some sort of insane miracle fumble run back, we've got a shutout here as well. Listen, I don't take chances.
Yeah, it's 2020.
Everybody in the press box looking at me like I'm nuts. I'm like, listen, it's happened at the pro level. I've seen it.
Well, we know the Lions are the same old Lions.
That's right, yeah. Victory formation for the Ramblers. They are going to take this one 30-0 to open the 2020 season, and there may not be a whole lot of crowd here, but they are letting the Ramblers know how proud they are, as that ends a 5-game winning streak for the Lake City Trojans, and it means that the Missaukee Sentinel Trophy is coming back down M66 to McBain.
Trojans 0. There will be a presentation of the Missaukee Sentinel Trophy.
Oh, look at this. I guess they don't shake hands, right? Because of COVID.
No, you wouldn't shake hands anymore.
So they're lining up there.
All line up on the 40s. Sean Mulder already told us exactly how this was going to happen, including that he'd be handing it to Maloney. He was that confident. Actually, he was just hoping, I think. Well, while that happens, I'm not going to try and describe to you as Sean Mulder, the athletic director here at McBain, hands head coach Pat Maloney the Misaki Sentinel Trophy. But 30-0 is your final. We're going to take a break, and we are going to come back with the Kelly's Pizza and Grill post-game show, where we will recap the game tonight for you, and we will put Lars under the intense pressure of having to pick a lineman of the game, a player of the game, and a play of the game. Lars, give it some thought. We'll be back right after this.
Dawn Fresh Catering is committed to serving fresh, homemade foods with an emphasis on using the great Abel's meats our customers love. Let Dawn Fresh Catering provide the food for your party or event. At Abel's General Store, you'll find a wide variety of grocery products, clothing, gifts, and of course, our signature meats. Family owned and operated since 1920, hometown service is our specialty. Dawn Fresh Catering in Abel's General Store in beautiful downtown Falmouth.
Parents, if your students want to be college or career ready by the end of high school, CTC is the place to be. I'm Troy from the McBain High School, and the Wexford-Mazaki Career Tech Center is preparing me for the jobs of the future. Students from all over the region can choose up to 14 different career-driven programs, with a free associate's degree available in some programs through the 13th year training. Find out more at WMISD.org at the Career Technical Education Link and see why CTC is the place to be.
Broadcasting from the U.S. Army Studios, this is 107.9 CDY. See GoArmy.com.
With an exceptional service team and undeniably great prices, the team at Classic Chevy are ready to serve you. See the difference at Lake City's locally owned and operated Classic Chevy. Shop online, then stop in for a test drive. The corner of M55 and M66. Classic Chevy is a proud supporter of our local high school football teams. Classic Chevrolet. Prices you'll love, people you can trust.
We've all been there. We rely on our vehicles more than ever to get us where we need to go, safe and sound. McBain Auto Service is open Monday through Friday and are fully licensed and insured to serve you. With over 50 years combined experience, they specialize in everything from brakes to engine repair with no job too big or small. Stop in for a safety inspection. McBain Auto Service, located at 9438 South Maury Road in McBain, or call 231-825-2729.
And welcome back to McBain High School. Jay Simon alongside Lars, Mr. McBain Fredine. Hawkeye'd kill me if I didn't use your nickname. Matt Jackson back in the studio, turning the dials for us under the mentoring and supervision of Rich Spicer. The Ramblers opened the 2020 abbreviated high school football season with a convincing 30-0 victory over the Lake City Trojans. It ends a 5-game skid against their neighbors to the north, and it allows head coach Pat Maloney to take the Misaki Sentinel Trophy for the first time since 2016. And Lars, other than a spate of penalties, they did have one turnover, a fumble. This was really a solidly played game for one game into a weird season.
And even a surprise fumble there, too. There's your senior running back who is very solid with the ball.
Right.
Someone must have missed a block where he expected someone to get it. But McBain looked really good. Lake City played hard. They're a scrappy team. They're kind of the small Beale City type players. They're going to play hard every game. McBain took care of them this year.
They sure did, and it started out fantastically for the Ramblers as we give you the Bader & Sons greentractor.com stats. Ramblers got it off to a great start. Austin Ealing had a 30-yard run down to the 2-yard line to set up a Caden McGillis touchdown run. The extra point from Tristan McElhinney from his right foot.
Right foot, you got to take note on all
made it
those. Yep.
7-0 Ramblers. After a turnover on downs by the Trojans, McBain came back, drove down the length of the field from their own 45 to the 14 of the Trojans. That drive stalled, but McElhinney hit a 30-yard field goal to give the Ramblers a 10-0 lead, again, with his right foot.
Right foot, yep.
Ramblers then forced a punt, got it back, and then spanning the end of the first into the second, they started from their own 17 and scored on a Daniel Rodenbaugh 47-yard touchdown run.
Tiptoeing.
53-yard touchdown run.
Tiptoeing the sideline.
That was the later one. That was the later one. This was the one straight up the middle going right to left.
Where he looked up.
53 yards, basically untouched. for the touchdown. McElhenney with the right-footed extra point closed it out, made it 17-0. Trojans then settled down a little in that second quarter, stopped the Ramblers with a punt and a turnover on downs, but they couldn't get into the end zone themselves, and we made the turn at the McBain Hardware halftime show, 17-0 McBain. Ramblers then forced a fumble on Lake City's opening drive, and Caden McGillis with a 5-yard touchdown run made it 23-0 after the missed extra point by Tristan McElhenney, whose right-footed kick went into the offensive line. And you're going to wonder why I keep saying that, but it's coming up. Don't worry. The Trojans then forced a Rambler punt, but then coughed it up again. Fumble gave it back to the Ramblers at their own 27-yard line. McBain, 4 plays later, then got a 52-yard touchdown run from Daniel Rodenbaugh. That's the one. He tiptoed up the right sideline, stayed in bounds by about 6 inches, all the way to the house for the score. And Tristan McElhenney came out and put the extra point through with his left foot.
And it looked better than his right.
It looked better than his right. It really did. I don't know if somebody forgot to tell him.
Harv Lucas is saying there's no T either.
There was no T. Put it on the ground. Well, that's how they do it at the pro level, right? So he wanted to be able to hit the grass. Probably he's a soccer player. It makes sense. Yeah, I thought I was watching, I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but a recent movie that came out that was kind of about time travel and backwards and all this. Believe me, I thought somebody had flipped the film on me when McElhenney lined up.
Bill and Ted or something?
No. I thought somebody had flipped the film on me, and he put that through. Gorgeous extra point, made it 30-0. Ramblers would then also get an interception from Karsten Huttinga, who had an interception taken away, but then got the fumble recovery later. So Huttinga with an interception and a fumble recovery, and the Ramblers then would close it out after stopping the Trojans on downs at the Rambler 19-yard line, and victory formation followed. 30-0, your Bader and Sons greentractor.com scoreboard and the final tonight.
So I'm going to go political on this one, man. Everybody's going to share in the wealth here because there were some exciting things going on here. So we're going to start with.
Let me make sure there are broadcast partners that we need to make sure we do. Do you want to start with the linemen?
Yes.
Can we do that?
Well, okay. Yep.
All right. We're going to start with the Bader and Sons greentractor.com linemen of the game. And we talked a little bit, Lars, in the pregame. Hawkeye told us this is a very inexperienced and young offensive line, 2 sophomores on that offensive line. But when you got senior backs like that, they don't need much of a hole.
Yep.
And it seemed like they really did a nice job.
So I'm going with a junior lineman of the game, taking the spot of his older brother that graduated last year. This is going to be Brant Bonico, the lineman of the game. He's besides Matt Utek, he's the shortest lineman out there. Matt's more of a defensive end, a stand-up guy.
Yeah.
Brant was in that backfield all night.
And being double teamed.
Playing both sides of the ball. Yep. They're running behind him almost every play. Brant Bonico showed nothing but heart and grit out there, just destroying people. I mean, he's not tall, but he's powerful.
There you go. With your Bader and Sons greentractor.com lineman of the game is junior Brant Bonico. How about we move on to the Judy K. Gildy picture perfect play of the game? And there's a number of spectacular ones. First one that comes to mind for me is the Karsten Huttinga interception that wasn't. That was an absolutely amazing, looked like a one-handed interception coming across the field from his free safety position. That one, of course, overturned after the penalty on the Ramblers.
And that's legal, right? You can have a play be the play of the game that doesn't count as an actual play.
Listen, I don't even know who makes those rules, so why not?
It's our rules.
That's what you want to do. I didn't mean to spoil it for you. I didn't think that's
No, but I want to give it to 2 people. I'm going to give it to Karsten Huttinga. It's a kind of a slash for him because of that the one-handed interception that didn't count. The next play, he comes back with a fumble recovery. But I also think one of the best picture-perfect plays of the game by Judy K. Gildy is the Calvin McGillis sliding on the ground, beating the Lake City offensive player to get his fumble recovery. So it's a tie, just like there's going to be for the play of the game.
Well, that's in a 30-0 game. You pick 2 defensive plays, and that's
yeah.
There you go. That's appropriate.
So it's the Calvin McGillis fumble recovery, and it's the Karsten Huttinga interception that didn't count / next play fumble recovery.
There you go.
Everybody got
your
that
Judy
written
K.
down.
Gildy. Boy, oh boy. There's your Judy K. Gildy picture perfect play of the game. It's going to cost Hawkeye an awful lot of little trinkets or whatever it is he gives out. Yeah,
I think he's getting. It used to be cap erasers, but I think it's getting more. Yeah.
It's hard to say. I don't know what he's doing. We've got to remind you, this is the Kelly's Pizza and Grill post-game show. And that leaves us with just one more thing to take care of. Before I do that, though, I do want to run down our broadcast partners, Lars. Couldn't do this without them. We are sincerely grateful for their support. And I want to make sure I mention them to you one last time. If you get a chance to stop into any of these businesses, talk to the business owners, anybody associated with them, please, for us, thank them for supporting Rambler broadcasts here on 107.9 CDY. Couldn't do it without them. We are grateful for their support. They include Ebel's General Store, McNally's Party Store, McBain Lake City Family Pharmacy, SRM Concrete, Wexford Misaki Career Tech Center, McBain Auto Service, Classic Chevrolet, McBain Rural Agricultural Schools, West Michigan Credit Union, the Ina Store, L&J Meat Market, McLean Transmission, FIAM, Kelly's Pizza and Grill, Kluger Mechanical, Bader & Sons, GreenTractor.com, McBain Hardware, Northern Truck Service, and of course, Judy K. Gildy, Picture Perfect Photography. Actually, it's just Judy K. Gildy Photography. I'm just so used to saying Picture Perfect because Picture Perfect play of the game.
She's going to add that to her business card.
Make sure you follow Judy K. Gildy on Facebook. She will post sample photos of action shots that she took. She was in here taking pictures of the young ladies that were singing the national anthem. She does a fantastic job and all kinds of great shots for these Rambler kids, both athletes and non-athletes.
Before we go on, though, you think about it. These McBain kids, they can hear their games on radio with 107 CDY. They got the Rambler review that Gary's helped set up. They got Judy Gildy posting all these great shots on Facebook.
Spoiled rotten.
A little bit.
Spoiled rotten. Absolutely. 100%.
Coming down to the sponsors making that happen, though.
Totally.
That's awesome.
Totally spoiled rotten. Well, that leaves us with the most exciting 15 seconds in all of broadcasting, whether it's Lars Ferdine doing it or Gary Hawkeye Vanna. It is still the L&J Meat Market Hawkeye Player of the Game. It is the most coveted award that is handed out in our post-game show. Lars, a lot of pressure, my friend.
Well, it is.
Who you got?
It's political season, so the people that put the points on the board are the players of the game, and there's 3 of them.
Oh my goodness.
The multi-talented, left-footed, right-footed Tristan McElhenney with 3 extra point kicks. 2 of them right-footed, 1 of them left-footed, and a 30-yard field goal. He's the first player of the game. And then Daniel Rodenbaugh with 2 touchdowns and Caden McGillis with 2 touchdowns. So those 3 seniors as the Hawkeye Players of the Game, brought to you by L&J Meat Market.
Could not have said it any better myself. Lars, 30-0 is your final here in McBain. The Ramblers move to 1-0, and better yet, they take home the Misaki Sentinel Trophy for the first time since 2016, snapping a 5-game losing streak to the Trojans. A great, great opening week. Hawkeye, we missed you. But that's going to do it for us, for our producer and engineer, Matt Jackson, for Lars Ferdine. I'm Jay Simon. We appreciate and thank you so much for joining us tonight. Action Jackson. That seems too simple, doesn't it? But, hey, I like it. That might be what it is. We will be back next Friday as the Ramblers play host to the Everett Wildcats in Week 2 of the high school football season. We'll see you next week. You've been listening to McBain Rambler Football on 107.9 CDY.
Good night, girls.
This broadcast of McBain Ramblers Football